You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for check, expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, no free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss, just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, though the chains go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. And when they try to change, you can say no, free me.
What is up, everybody?
Yes.
Corey W.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning.
East Coast Thrills, how's it going?
We'll just get the chat going.
Oh, we're just kind of doing a random live tonight. Tim will probably be here in a little bit. He had an early day off today, so get rid of that stupid ass heart.
It's back.
I never lost it. What's up, Matt? I sent you a link if you're sitting at home bored right now or on your way to work. What's up, David? Yeah, so Tim had a 4-hour day today. I got the batteries for the spark charge, getting the controller charged up. Then maybe I'll do a little test flight in the morning just to test it out. Make sure it's running good. I want to get everything charged up on it just in case I get any bites on it.
Hello, David. Hello, Matt. The East Coast Thrills. W. Corey. Oh, okay.
Well, then come join us, Matt. I know you ain't doing shit. What's up, Jody? Join us from your phone in your chair. You don't have to go sit at the computer. I swear this fucking gnat has been flying around my damn face for 3 days now. I can't catch the little bastard.
Mm.
It's just a little tiny fly. Like a
Yeah,
little
I
gnat
know.
fly. Just fucking all over the place. Little bastards are quick too.
Darren.
Yeah, I played with them before when I first got it, Matt, but I'm actually trying to sell it, unfortunately, because I need the money, but we'll see if it if I get any bites on it or not.
Mm.
If I have to go too low on it, I'm just not gonna sell it. I'm not gonna give it away to somebody.
Hashtag giveaway.
Yeah, it's, I mean, if you look at the prices on them,
Yeah.
the drone alone with just one battery goes for $250.
Mm.
And that's working order. If it's parts, they go for like 150, 160 just for parts if they're broken. East
Always
Coast
a good,
Thrills.
it's a good starter at least. Anybody that wants to get into the hobby, it'd be a good way to start.
East Coast Thrills. Why do I know that? Names-
Yeah, he's been in everybody's chats recently.
Okay, yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that.
Smooth in.
All right. Standard and save. I knew that name looked familiar. I was trying to remember if they had been to my channel before.
Matt says I can send you some of my YouTube money if you want, so you don't have to see it. I think he meant sell it. Hey, Robbie.
Well, he might get, yeah, but
Hey,
see,
Al.
then I'll end up with a negative balance on PayPal because they'll fuck up the exchange rate.
Exactly.
What's up,
You'll
Robbie,
miss
Al?
$1.75 in there.
PayPal will be like, you owe us money now.
Yeah.
Be like, what the fuck? Uh, that's funny.
Yeah, that East Coast Thrills, that'd be a great one. It's a great one for young people wanting to start.
Yeah, I'll show it to you too. So I got the battery, the aftermarket battery charger, the controller, which is charging right now. And
Yeah.
I got the white one with 3 batteries. God, fucking green screen. Hold on.
It's a nuisance, isn't it?
Let me show. So I have the case and I have the Spark with the 3 batteries, the sunshade, the landing gear extension legs. I can't find one of them for some reason. I only have 3, so I'm not going to include those. But that's not something that comes with it anyway. But there's extra propellers.
It would certainly be a step up from the tallow.
And the only cable I have at the moment, because I don't know where all the cables went for the phone part of it, but those are fairly inexpensive. I have the iPhone cable.
Is it
But I don't.
it'd be a micro USB at the other end, wouldn't it?
Yeah, micro USB. Those are cheap. You know, you can get sets of
yeah.
those for like $10. Those are nothing.
Mm,
You can get a whole set of them. But I have the aftermarket charger that charges 4 batteries, and it has an LCD screen, tells you the amperage, the voltage, everything. And it charges all 4 of them simultaneously. But I only have 3 batteries.
Robbie's asking what's the price.
There's the controller. Well, I want to get at least 350 for it, somewhere in there, because like I said, if you look at, damn it, if you look at the drones, if you go to price the batteries,
Manya.
like the 3 batteries, the controller, the drone itself, all that stuff, you'd be looking at about $600. Because I have 3 batteries for it, the case, I have the drone, the charger, and when you go on like eBay and you buy them used, minimum you're going to pay $250 for just the drone and 1 battery and nothing else with it. That's all you're going to get with it, is just the drone and the battery. No controller, no case, nothing with it. And the batteries alone are like $80-$90 a piece brand new if you buy them new. And they go for about 50 or 60 used on and one of the batteries only has like 2 or 3 cycles on it.
Even better. And that's the free set of steak knives.
Well, like I said, I'm willing to work on the price, but you know, I don't want to go below 300 because that's just giving it away at that point. Because the controller alone's about $80. You buy the controller separate. Well, and not to mention that is those drones are fucking tanks and they are fun to fly.
Yeah.
Like they have decent video and everything for sure, but just flying around, no, those things are a blast, man. You put that thing in sports mode and you just shoot and turn on a dime like a FPV drone. Like
Yeah, it's
those
a good start. It's a good starter.
So responsive.
The same glasses that I've been using for a long while. I haven't broken these yet. They're only just the standard reader you find in the budget shops. We call them $2 shops here. I don't know what you call them over there.
What, just dollar store?
Yeah, the dollar store then.
But nothing costs $1 in there. Everything's
just
more
the
than $1.
Oh, I know that. I paid, I think, $3 for them.
Yeah, like
they're just the standard 2, magnified 2.5.
Did I miss anybody? Nunya. I said hi to David, I believe. Did I miss
Yeah.
anybody else? Robbie, I think I got everybody.
Robbie, yeah, I think we've said hello to them.
Um, no, see, Dollar Tree was originally everything in Dollar Tree was $1. But they even had to raise their prices to $1.25 now because of inflation.
Yeah, so it's called the $1.25 store now.
Yeah, it's still called the Dollar Tree, but yeah, it needs to be called like dollar and the quarter store or something.
Yeah.
But I see him raising it again soon. I mean, shit hasn't really leveled off. It's kind of keeps going up.
Mm. Yeah, we've got a place called the Reject Shop, and what they do is they're sort of excess stock or stock that is just a little bit off. We've also got another store called Not Quite Right, where they
Not
just
quite
have
right.
Yeah.
It's an
I
interesting name.
think they would have them in other states. I don't know if I'm only saying that what they have in Victoria.
That's an interesting name. Not quite right.
Yeah. Not
Is
quite
that,
right in the Reject store.
am I glitching to you or are you glitching?
I had unstable come up for a second.
Okay, because your camera like keeps like half of you goes black and then it comes back and okay, I'll just making sure.
Oh,
it
not
wasn't-
that again. Yeah, it was happening on Uncle Bill's the other day where people were glitching.
I just want to make sure it wasn't me or if it was you, because your camera, like half your screen will go black and you'll see half your head, and then all of a sudden it comes
Mm.
back to a regular picture.
Mm.
All right, Robbie, we'll see you later.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Matt, you gonna come in or what? Anybody else want to come in? Just let me know. I didn't send you a link. First I thought you meant Jim Boyd. Yeah, actually, Jim gave me a Tello, which I still have.
Mm.
And me and the kids fly that around the house all the time. That's a fun little drone to fly around.
Yeah, that's a really good one for the young people to learn on.
And that's just a good one for any drone pilot to have laying around the house, because on the rainy days, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're that into flying where like you have an itch to fly every day,
Hey, Sarah.
that'd give you something to do. What's up, Sarah? Oh, Tim, she actually, Matt is still down for the count.
No, no.
He said that a minute ago, so. Sarah threw her back out like 3 days later too. And then I
Mm.
had a really bad knot in the side of my back a couple days after.
Same here. It must be going around because it's same here. Mine's a little bit strange. Mine's really grumbly around the hip area. And I think it must be a genetic thing because my brother's got the same problem.
Yeah, I had a really
Mm.
bad knot on the side of my back right here for a couple days, but it's gone away now, so. But that usually turns into something worse usually when I feel that come on. And
Mm.
thank God it didn't, because I've had a couple of pinched nerves over the last couple of years. And I'll tell you what,
Yeah,
that shit hurts.
I've had a problem like that for probably best part of 40 years. No, it'd be about 30, 35.
And then there's been a few times over the years where I literally just stood up out of a chair and boom, just my back's just
Mm.
gone.
Yeah, mine's
Mm.
my right hip. I injured it many years ago in sport and I've never been able to get it right since. It's a bit grumbly. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Yeah,
Normally wild sex causing that.
yeah, does cause that, David. Yeah. And it's usually worse in the winter.
I actually used my pillow yesterday that I have up there that came with my seat. It's got one of those little vibrators built into it.
Oh,
It's a little
okay.
lumbar pillow that goes on your seat. All the
Mm.
gaming chairs come with that. The little lumbar pillows will have a little vibrator you can plug into the wall.
Oh, okay. So that's why all the girls are buying those chairs.
Exactly. I used mine yesterday and that one's pretty strong, so I actually made it feel a little better.
Mm. Now that,
What's up?
hey, brother Ken,
What's up, Ken?
there used to be this really great massage place near me, and they gave you the absolutely best massage, and that closed down a couple of years back, and ever since then, my back's been a little bit grumbly since then. But yeah,
Um,
you'd go there once a week, and they would really work it out.
there was ones that I went to a couple times in the mall. There was these little, and it was always ran by, like an Asian family. And they would have these chairs right outside the store. And you could
Yeah,
go and it was like $20, I think, for like 15 minutes or something.
yeah,
And they would sit there and they'd get into your back because you'd sit in the chair with your head through the little hole,
yeah.
little donut hole. And then the one Asian dude would get on you and start working into you. Yeah, that
Yeah.
shit felt good.
No, the one that I used to go to was on a long massage table, and it'd be a Japanese woman would come out and would really work on you and then walk across you.
See, I've never been to one of those. I'd love to go to one of those. What's up,
And
Jody?
that was it was a whole hour, and they would work on every muscle in your body.
See, I've always wanted to try one of those inverted tables. I've never tried one of those.
Mm,
Have you,
they would
anybody in the
really
chat
work
ever
hard
tried
on you.
those? That's the one that you'd always see, like, it was that dude, he was like a TV pitchman, and
Mm.
he invented his own invert table that you'd sit in and
Yeah.
it'd flip you upside down.
Yeah, sort of
And
like the as seen on TV.
yeah, he was like 80 years old and he'd be in there and he'd be like, look at me, and he'd be doing this shit and stretching and
Yeah.
fucking doing all this wild shit while he was hanging upside down.
Mm.
I've always wanted to get one of those, but curious if they work that good.
Go chirp. Okay.
GoChirp.com.
Now, unfortunately, they closed down because the building they were using was being wanted for a property development. But that was the best massage I'd ever had, because they had a hot tub, and you'd start in the hot tub, and they would warm you up, and then they would give you an hour massage, and then they would say you can sit in the hot tub for another hour, half hour. So it was over 2 hours.
And if anybody's wondering, that's Australian for sex club, and it got shut down for various reasons.
Yeah, because it's a shame, because it was just around the corner from where I am, and it was just easy to get to as well.
Oh, what movie was that where the dude goes into the Asian massage parlor and he thinks it's one of the ones that gives you a happy ending, and it turns out it's the people that run the dry cleaning next door.
Mm.
And she's like, "What can I do for you?" And he whispers in her ear, and she goes, "Oh." Can't
Yeah,
think of the movie. It was with Owen
it's
Wilson and Hall
yeah,
Pass. Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit of a running joke down here where people say, "Oh, I went and got a massage," and yes, all I got was a massage. I hate it when I go to one of these massage places and all I get is a massage. It's a bit of a running joke.
You ever seen that movie Hall Pass?
Oh, once, yeah.
Oh God, that was a movie I was thinking of when he goes in there and he's trying to get a happy ending. Turns out they don't do that in there.
Yeah, I paid all that money and I got nothing for it.
I've always wanted to. One thing I've never done though, I always wanted to go do is I always wanted to go to a chiropractor.
I've been to one and they.
I don't know, I've seen some of these videos online where these people come in and they're like hunchback. And
Yeah.
the guy will get on them and he'll be like, all right, do this. And then he cracks every bone in their back. And all of a sudden they're walking up straight when they leave the office and they're just
Yeah, the
feeling
trouble
good.
is it's expensive and you've got to do it for about 3 or 4 years.
I don't
had to
know.
stop
See,
because I ran out of money.
my upper back goes like that, but my lower back kind of curves.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a
And when
curve
I'm
down.
doing like yard work or anything, a lot of times,
Mm,
man, it feels like there's like 200 pounds on my lower back just pushing down. And
mm,
it will hurt sometimes. Like I gotta come in the house and lay down for a minute and then like twist and
mm,
stretch, crack my back.
mm. Yeah, mine's at the lower lumbar region as well. If I do something too long.
I think my back's not aligned
Yeah.
100% correctly. But I was always warned when I was a student in school, because I was one of those ones that was always leaned down in their chair like that. Teacher would
Yeah.
always tell you, oh, don't sit like that. You're gonna mess your back up. Oh, don't worry about
I'm
it.
gonna sit like
I
that.
got
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Now that's why I always like to find a park. When I find a park to go flying, I always like to find a park with a park bench so I can sit on the park bench and fly from there.
I don't know how I used to sit in chairs in school though, like, cause now if I sit on a park bench or something after about 20 minutes, my ass is asleep and I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
shit, it's uncomfortable as hell.
Mm. And we had those really wooden chairs back in my day.
Oh, we had metal ones. So they were,
Mm.
it was all metal and then it was all one piece. And then you had the desk that was hooked to it and you'd slide into
Oh
it,
yeah,
you know?
those. Yeah, we had those too. We'd have
Sure.
that. You could put your stuff in under it. Yeah. Yes, Tim.
Yeah. See, ours, no, see, the way ours was it wasn't one of the ones that open up. It was literally
Mm.
just a flat desk and then a chair attached to it and you sat in it and there was a little rack underneath you could put stuff in. But normally you just had your backpack next to your chair.
Yeah, ours was
And if
just
you-
as it was a wooden one where you had your sort of like a pen
yeah, and
area,
then you would
and
open
then
it up.
was, yeah, it was on an angle. You'd bring it up and down.
Yeah, I've seen those before.
Mm.
What's up, Tim?
Hey, it's Tim finally.
I've seen those more in like elementary schools because I know when I was in elementary, we had assigned seating, but in middle school and high school, you never really were in the same seat every day. You
Yeah.
kind of would just come in and sit wherever.
Yeah, and everybody would want to sit down the back.
Yep, that was where all the cool kids sit, was in the back.
Yeah.
Same with on the bus too.
Mm. Yeah, we didn't have that bus sort of thing going.
Well, see, in high school, you would like like any of the cool kids, you'd sit in the very back of the bus.
Yeah.
If you were kind of a loner by yourself, you'd sit in the middle or up in the front.
Every time we'd run on excursions, we'd all of us would want to sit down the back of the bus.
I always sat in the back of the bus most of the time. Oh,
Oh,
nice,
well
Mike.
done,
So
Mike.
160 times 2 is what? 200.
320.
Yeah, $320. That's not bad, dude.
Yeah.
Give or take 40 bucks for gas. $40, $50 for gas, and if you stopped and got something to eat, that's not bad at all, dude. That's average job. You're lucky to make 200 a day. So
There's Matt.
what's up, Matt?
What's up?
There you go, boys.
There you go.
They're still playing
Alright.
hooky, I see, right? I mean, you really don't
Hey.
have to like put on the theatrics for us. We're not your boss. So I mean,
I wish I was.
I know everybody on YouTube sees my live streams, but still.
Mm. Yeah, wildly successful.
It's all right.
Uh,
You should see therapy though for the delusional fucking thing.
you talking to yourself in the mirror again?
Over 25,000 views on one short.
Is that it's already up to 25,000?
25,000.
Jesus, is it slowing down finally or no?
It's staying steady. Every day is the same, and I get about 1,000 a day. Tick, tick, tick. In a 12-hour period, 12 to 15-hour period, it goes up another 1,000 views.
Yeah, I went back looking at some of my old ones yesterday, where you can do the most popular.
Hmm.
And I had one that was at like 5K and it's now jumped up to like 6.4 or something. It's starting to climb back up now. It started in the last few days. It's gotten a couple thousand more views.
6.4. Can't remember the last time one was that low.
24.
Oh, fuck off.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, who was it? Who was it? The one that was did that short like a year ago, and they were literally just driving their truck. It was an 18, or was it Dan? Was it droning veteran? And he got like
Probably, yeah.
80,000 views or some shit on it.
Was it? Yes, yeah, I pushed that one on my channel.
It was the one where he was driving and he was just like, "Oh shit" or something. It was like 10 seconds long.
Mm. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I think it got like 80 or 90,000 views or some crazy shit. Before it finally
Mm.
stopped.
Well, that's why I put that dash cam one of mine up.
I saw
Because-
that. Yeah, I showed it on
That-
Paul Murray's the other day.
Mm.
I'll tell you what, that come close. You should have seen the look on her face. She wouldn't have. She probably didn't see me. If she didn't look, if she did look, she probably didn't see me because it's that pillar. And if you
Right.
don't look around that pillar, there's a blind spot in every car. You know, you've got to look around these things. And she just didn't see me. Oh, you showed it on pause, did you? Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
I was like,
Yeah.
because I was looking at your channel at something else. We were like looking at the different numbers of views and stuff. And I said, "What the hell is this?" Matt posted. I said, "A car wreck or something." And I clicked on it. I was like, and I could hear you in the video. Oh, you fuck.
I bleeped a lot of that out. Yeah. Yeah, it was no, I could see it coming. I could see it coming, you know, and I'd actually started to slow down even before the thing started coming out because I thought this thing's not going to stop. And so it always in the back of your head, yeah, of course it's going to stop. But I sort of started to swerve. But anyway.
Well, you could tell Matt wasn't having money troubles because usually when people are trying to get rid of the car payment, that's a good time
Oh.
to just go ahead and go through with the accident. Just
Oh,
yeah,
Nick.
and then their insurance has to pay your car off. Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, whiplash.
Yeah, and my pain and suffering bill. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
Atos bought the folding chair carry with him. I don't know who said something. Sarah Stickley, Matt, I haven't on most of the video. Hope it feels better. Oh, no worries. Yeah, it's sort of getting better, and then it's not, and then I can walk around a little bit. Still can't stand up for too long or sit for too long actually, so I can't do anything. You know.
Well, she threw
Anyway.
her back out 3 days ago.
Oh, really?
And then I got that badass knot in my back too, like 2 or 3 days ago. Me and her both did it at
I
the
know.
same time. And
Oh,
she
shit.
was going to put her work pants on to go to work.
There you go. There you go. Work is no good for your physical well-being.
And then
Yeah.
I got her
You
laughing in the bed. I was like, "Oh, you're putting pantyhose on like Matt." And she was like, "Oh my God, stop making me laugh."
Yeah, man. Oh, did I tell you? Oh well, let's piss
No.
off. Still wants me to upgrade. Windows 11, you're eligible. I know I am. You can fuck right off.
There is nothing wrong with Windows 11. I know you value Sean's opinion very much so, but you know.
Yeah, when I told him that Windows 10's better, he actually researched it and went, and Matt's right.
Mm.
Keep in
Again?
mind, I know he's lurking. Give it a minute.
That's
He'll
always
say
right.
something.
I should start listening to Matt more often.
Yeah.
I should ring Matt up actually and say, Matty, I've got a few issues with Windows 11. I say, yeah, I know, mate. Everyone has. I haven't because I've got Windows 10.
Matt answers the chat like he answers Messenger.
Oh, fucking here we go.
Yeah.
Tim's blocked.
go
I can't
again.
see Tim's comments though because I've blocked him off my channel. See, what has he said, mate?
I think he called you a cunt. A couple other things.
Oh, he's being nice.
Yeah,
to
he's
me.
yelling and he's putting anti-Semitic remarks in the chat.
That sounds about right. for
Marcel.
Tim.
What's
Oh,
up,
the
Marcel?
meatloaf. Yeah, the meatloaf's really nice,
He's,
mate.
he's looking a little grey there.
You just
Off
can't be
Access.
Windows 7.
Mm.
I always liked XP. XP was a great
Yeah.
operating system.
Yeah,
Or-
Windows 3.1.
I use Lotus 123.
Yep.
Remember that, the old Lotus?
Yep.
Yeah, mate. No, the meatloaf was awesome, dude. I smoked it up with some mulberry. I made 2 meatloaves, put them all in there, and I'll tell you what, love the smoky meats, mate. And last night I was watching Barbecue Pitmaster, whatever it is, and I watched about 8 episodes of that in a row. I got to bed about 5 a.m. because I couldn't stop watching it. And all I wanted to do at 3 a.m. was go outside and start smoking meat. Ridiculous. Yeah. Floppy disk, anyone? You can't even buy a bloody laptop now with a CD drive in it, a ROM drive.
Oh no, they don't come with any of
Everything's
that shit
downloaded
anymore.
now. Yeah, fucking hell, I tell you. It was always good to chuck your CDs in there. I mean,
Yep.
I got nothing here. I got a double tape deck here. So you can record from one tape deck to the other. Ooh,
I remember
special.
those days.
And didn't you have, well, now you can buy an external CD drive if you really want to like burn
Wow.
DVDs and stuff, but yeah, putting one inside of a laptop anymore, yeah, they don't have that.
No.
I
I've got
mean,
a
even
drive on
PCs don't have it no more.
I've got a drive on this one here. It's a
That's how you know that bitch is outdated.
Mm.
I don't even have an area to put a drive on mine. That's where all the fans are at on the front.
That's right. But that's because yours is tiny,
Right.
mate. Mine's huge. Plenty of room for it. You got that
What's
little
up, Dre?
the little Casio thing you got sitting on your desk there, mate. I got the real deal here, mate. It's got the hard handles. Did you know the handles?
Oh yeah, the very extensive high grade handles.
Yeah,
Mm.
the shuttle door handle I got on here. Hello, NASA. Got your handles, mate, on top of my computer. I went, oh, Matty, good on you, mate. Can you send them over? And I said,
Yep.
yeah, all right. Nominal price.
Oh shit.
I'm going when I can go shopping again, which I can't do at the moment, but I'm going to put this on a cucumber and I'm going to take a picture and send it to in the fruit and veg section, and I'm going to send it to Wedgie. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that.
And written use only.
Yeah. And I want to set a camera up. Or just stand somewhere where I can have my camera going and see the first person who picks it up. Hopefully it hasn't got blue or pink hair. It's just someone normal. For fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
I know all about that.
Damn, Matt, you lose all barbecue respect. Why? What did I do now?
You smoked a meatloaf.
Oh, it's bloody fantastic, mate. You even had a smoke ring on it, eh? The smoke
Well,
ring.
Oh, blame that on Mudball.
Don Mudball created.
Donald, yeah. He's the one that
He
got all the
started this
Smoking.
craze.
Smoking the meatloaf. If you make the meatloaf nice and tight, and it's a beautiful meatloaf, and to smoke that up is.
Oh, do you have any
Smoke.
wise words for Dre? He's always looking for pointers on how to fly correctly. Matt,
Who's Myron Mixon?
Hmm?
Who's Myron Mixon?
Myron
Mixon.
Mixon.
The hell you
Is that like a
talking
food processor?
about? I don't know.
Mm.
But do you have any wise words for Dre? Like I said, he's always looking for pointers on how to fly correctly.
They can't be too wise, because it goes over his head real quick, right? I've got to dumb it down a little bit for old Dre.
That's funny.
Beep, boop. Oh, someone else in the chat. Oh, here we go. Dre's in.
Hey, Chuck.
Oh, he came back in the chat. Look it up, Barbecue Pitmaster, he says.
Look it up. Barbecue Pitmaster. Well, I probably taught him everything he knows here. Oh, that was the phone call the other day from a bloke called Myron. Right. That rings a bell now. Yeah. My phone rang. I didn't recognize the number. It was international. But he knew me. I mean, you know.
Massive channel.
Oh,
Yep.
Minnie. That's what he said. He goes, Minnie. He goes, oh, I heard you got 25,000 views on a short. Oh, well, yeah, I did. You know.
Matt's down there trying to throw that weight around down at the government office. Do you have any idea who I am? I got
Look at my-
25,000 views.
Look at my channel analytics, bitch.
Yeah.
Now give me that pizza for nothing. I'm doing a review.
Yeah.
I'm an influencer.
I'm an influencer.
F.
What's up, Bill? The Unreal.
Oh, Al, exactly right, mate. Exactly right. Why would you bother?
Right,
Because
if-
you just know
Put
there's
F
going to
in
be
the chat to pay your respects.
you're gonna. Sorry,
Yeah, F in the chat to pay your respects.
F
Yeah.
F in the chat.
Yeah. It's a well-known
Tim.
meme.
Oh, Tim said 25,000 views on a short and not monetized. And then he did the
Yeah.
rolling eye emoji.
Yeah, I'll be rolling my eyes at the actual amount of money that would make me. Not even worth it.
It's about 1 million views will get you about $1,000.
Yeah, a million. What am I going to get? 20 cents? Not even. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Harry
After-
Balls. Wonder if that's one of Dan's accounts. Sounds about something Dan would say.
But you know what? Al's exactly right. I mean, I had a little bit of a back and forth yesterday. That I was watching a review on and obviously, you know, bloke loves DJI stuff and what have you. I mean, it's good. Who knows? You know, there's good and bad and everything. But for me, that drone's is an absolute piece of poo when it comes down to a 1/2 a 2/3 sensor. Come on, this is exactly the same as the Mavic with the Mini Pro, right? Why would you? Why would you? I mean, it's got a 1.7 and 2.8 with the dual ISO and all that. It's exactly the same camera as a Mini. It's got some nice bells and whistles. And if that's what you're after, then you're going to have a nice drone for yourself. And a lot of people are happy with that shit. But when you're talking a 48 megapixel bloody quad Bayer freaking sensor over a 20 megapixel true 20 megapixel 1-inch sensor, I mean,
Nothing.
what? That's why I said it was a downgrade to the bloody. And I don't know, they didn't learn the lesson off the first fucker because that swinging camera up the top. I mean, people will use it. I don't know. Not many people I know use the bloody zoom on the Mavic 3 because that's just a piece of shit because the color sciences don't match. And what a pain in the ass to edit that shit. At least this way you've got two of the same sensors, so they're going to match up, all right. So, but anyway, it's got some nice little features and shit which you do get on the Mavic 3, which is offered now on the Mini on the Air 3.
He said
That's not
Al
Al,
said
it's
it's the
not
new
even a 1-inch
sensor
sensor.
stacking.
No, it's not even a 1-inch sensor, mate. You're going backwards. I mean, if it was if it was dual 1-inch sensors, I'd be going, hello. You know,
But they can't give all their tricks away. in
Well, this
this
is
one,
why.
because they want you to buy something on the next one.
This is why Al's absolutely correct. And if people don't follow this pattern that they're doing, they're crazy jumping on this shit straight away. Because in 4 months' time, you're going to have something that's going to be better.
Yep.
Look what
Are
they
you
did.
though? Are you? Because I think they've hit this plateau. They're just throwing
Another
shit
parts
together now.
bin.
Well, this will be a different camera, right? You're going to put this, they're going to put this little CMOS out, the 2.3. The next one will come out, probably have a 1-inch on it. And that will, they will, I don't think they will ever put a variable aperture on a drone at that price because that will absolutely knock off the sales of the Mavic series completely.
Chuck said the Air
Because
3 is laughable.
That'll be the
at
Mavic
best.
4 though.
My favorite drone is the Mavic 3 Classic. Exactly, mate. And that camera is rocking. Who said what there, mate?
Chuck said
Telly
the Air
and-
3 is laughable at best. Well, you know they're going to come out with the Air 3S.
Yeah.
Give that about 6 months.
That's
So,
right.
yeah,
That's what we're
I
just
reckon
saying.
November.
Yeah,
It's going to be replaced. It will be, and they do it.
Because
And this is
they've
the way
got to
they
do
go.
something for the Christmas market too.
Yeah.
what's up, okay?
Okay.
And Tim said and Tim was giving you financial advice in the chat, by the way. He
Oh, was
said a
he?
penny is a penny. It's all money.
Really?
Mhm.
Just throw it
Really?
at people like. Oh, I throw that sort of money at people like him in the streets, mate. That's what I do.
And then Dre left after you tried to give him some advice.
You told you too much for him. His head probably exploded, or the wax started melting and running out. It's too much for him.
Tim said, I'm waiting for the Phantom 5. Yeah, I think that series is dead.
Totally feel you, Chuck.
It seems like it's all about the foldable drones now, if they're not the big industrial ones.
Yeah, we don't have we don't have pennies here anymore either. No, we don't have 1 or 2 cent pieces anymore. Our smallest coin is the 5 cent piece.
I see more financial advice. A penny saved is a penny earned, Matt.
I'm right here, funny guy. Oh, Dre. I was just saying how good you were at everything.
Yeah,
That's what I was
you're a
saying.
legend. You're a legend at everything.
Well, I think his
Coolest
internet
man
might
on
be a little bit
YouTube.
crappy tonight, right? So he might have heard something different, right? But if your
Yeah,
internet's working,
your audio
okay,
was
Dre,
breaking up.
yeah. If your internet's working right now, Dre, I said you're awesome, awesome. I hope he hears that.
Well, I mean, he has a link, so I'm just saying.
Can you retract that at all?
Technically, I could. It's a messenger.
Oh,
That's the one thing I love about Messenger is you can go in and you can unsend something if you accidentally send the wrong thing.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah,
The hell?
Oh dear.
it's
Tell you
it's
what.
great for unwanted nude photos. You can retract them.
Yeah, sorry, I accidentally sent it the wrong person. It wasn't meant for you. Retract it, but
No
now they
worries, East
know.
Coast.
Now they know.
Oh, that'd be an absolute beast, right?
And oh, Sean just popped in. What did you call Dre? Apparently he didn't hear the kind words that Matt said about him earlier.
He must have crappy internet too, Sean. I said Dre was awesome. I actually asked Dre during the week whether he got his Phantom back, the one that flew off, but no luck at this stage. So a bit of luck, maybe one day. Although at this point, you would have thought someone might have handed it in by now, if they were going to.
Well done, Mike.
Well, that's all I said. What's up, Wayne B? That's what I said. If it's a professional setup, you should really have some business contact information on there, like a sticker with your phone number or like a business number and a name. Because most people probably aren't going to turn it in. They're going to say, "Oh, a drone fell in my yard," haha, and then they're going to throw it up on their garage wall. And it'll just sit there. They don't
see, this-
because they're not going to know what they're not going to. People aren't going to take it to the police station and turn it in.
No. Some people would. Matt, it's not the same sensor as the Mini. It's a stacker sensor. So it's not a 1/2.3 dual ISO sensor. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, Jack.
All right, Chuck. We'll see you later.
See you, chap.
Oh, nice. All right, Jim. We'll see you later.
Okay. Hey, Jim.
Awesome. Not sure that is a word. Must be an insult. Oh, damn.
Ugh. I fly all drones I find. Well, that's what I'm saying though, is some people might not think to turn it in. They literally will just think, oh, somebody was flying a toy drone or something, they just don't know nothing about them. Sarah's cousin messaged her like, was it like a month or two ago? It was like, somebody left a drone on my porch
Mhm.
and said, I keep crashing this shit, have fun with it. Right? And they left the drone and everything on the porch in the case. And I told her, I guess she contacted Sarah because she knew I knew stuff about him. I know she was like asking me questions about him, and she sent me a picture. It turned out it was one of those little cheap, like $30, like Mavic Mini knockoffs. You know, I told her, I said I wouldn't even bother with it. Just throw the damn thing in the trash. It's a piece of junk. I said fly it around till it breaks and then throw it away.
My ball.
What's up, Donald? Do a little translation.
Mm. Hey, Bill, Coast to Coast Drones.
What's up, Bill?
Howdy. Howdy, sir.
Let's go to Google and see what this person's talking about.
Mm.
Are you gay? Okay.
Man needs some feet hit and some gummies. Fuck yeah, man. Yeah. I know it's a I know it's a stack sensor and all that sort of shit, which does capture information differently. We're
Matt,
still
for real,
talking that
Lex?
sensor size. Still talking that sensor size as and using the 48 megapixel bullshit thing that they do.
Fucking Bill just went off on that okay person in the chat. Hey, y'all got wrenches, you do your thing. And there goes Tim Jackson.
No, it's just
Let's
waiting.
see. I translated one of the messages in Arabic. It said, "Are you gay?" And apparently Bill translated it and said, "Okay, I'm not a homosexual. I'm comfortable with my sexuality. And to be honest, it's none of your effing business whose sexuality is what, so bugger out." That's funny.
Well done, Mike.
There you go.
That's all right, Bill. Ain't no big deal. I'll just ignore it. But y'all got wrenches for a reason. Y'all do whatever you need to do.
That's
Mhm.
right, Jim. It's a 12 megapixel camera. No one's going to take that away. If I don't care how many stacks.
So
it's got.
you're saying the Air 3 is kind of like the Air 2 was with the 8K hyperlapse, right? Remember how I told you the Air 2 did the 8K hyperlapse and you were like, no, no. And then we looked it up and it did, but it uses some kind of
Quad Bay,
weird-
right? That uses Quad Bay technology, right? Now, back in 2018, when the Mavic 2 Pro was brought out, it was 2018. That was about then, wasn't it? Anyway, now that has, because of the option of saving DNG files, that has in hyperlapse, that has a true 5. I think it ended up to be 5.4. It might be 5.7. I can't quite remember, but that is a true. Well, I'll say 5.7. That is a true 5.7 hyperlapse video from a Mavic 2 Pro back in 2018 because of that DNG capability.
Mm.
Now, does anybody know, can you upload 8K to YouTube?
No.
Because my phone, I found out I was messing with the video settings in my phone and I found out it has 8K video. And it looked fucking sharp as shit. And I shot a video with it and tried to upload it to YouTube. It was like, nope, I'm not having this high resolution bullshit.
You know?
No, it'll only render to 4K. Yeah.
Mm.
I thought it did
Oh,
5K
yeah.
too. I thought it did up to 5.7, I thought.
What? Air 2?
YouTube? No, YouTube.
Oh, no, it doesn't because
Only
4K.
2160 is the highest, right?
yeah. Although in saying that, I haven't tried to upload a 5.1, but but every time I now whether it just picks up of what it is, what the file actually is or not, I don't know. But it always says max res 4K. So
Jim's droning. Not the sensor size that counts, it's how you use it.
Exactly.
that's well, you know what? That's true too. You know, it all depends on what you can do with it in post and how you expose the image. I mean, as I said, you know, ages ago, you'd be hard pressed. 5K is it, Dre? Right? Yeah.
Mhm.
You'd be
Yeah,
hard
Mike said that
pressed
too.
to find any camera that's crap these days on a drone. You just won't find it. You know, you're getting really nitpicky when you start talking about stacking and the image quality and pixel peeping and all that sort of shit. You are really.
Yeah, it's
You
all
know.
the pixel peepers.
Yeah, I mean, but in all reality, well, look, I'm just not interested in that drone. I'm not interested in the Air 2S or anything like that because I want some different camera controls than what they got to offer.
But when you've
But
got when you've got a Mavic 3, anything
Bill talking about?
below that you wouldn't need.
no, well, that's right. I mean, I'd go the Mavic 2 over a bloody only because of the. As I said, if anything ever happened to my Mavic 2, I'd get another one. I wouldn't get one of the newer ones because I still want the control that I have. You know.
Now, is the Air 3 got the Hasselblad
No,
color profile? It doesn't?
no.
Oh, wow.
No, they
Huh.
won't put that on their cheaper drones. But in all honesty, it's not much cheaper than a Mavic 3 Classic, is it?
Mm.
So
Don't need
Over here, I was looking at the Mavic 3 Classic
$2,500.
Fly More compared to the Air 3 Fly More, and it was about $600 difference.
$600. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, because
So-
I've seen the pricing.
That's,
The Australian pricing is, yeah, I think $24.59 for the RC2 with the Flymore.
yeah,
On
it's
the Pro,
1500.
Yeah.
No, on the, he's talking about the Air 3.
or the Air
Air
3.
3.
It's
Okay,
about
so there you go.
1500 over here.
So you're looking at $24.95, did you say? And you're looking
think
at $100
so.
more for a Mavic 3 Classic. It's not a Flymore, but a Mavic 3 Classic with the RC is $100 more. I mean, it all depends on what you want. You know, if you want a
Frickin'
smaller
will.
drone, go for it. You know.
I was surprised to hear the Mavic Air 3 doesn't have variable aperture. I didn't hear if it shoots in RAW.
$23.49.
Somebody said earlier, doesn't it shoot in RAW?
Look, it shoots in log M, right? Which is, it's not log. Well, it is, but okay, but it's not flat log, right? Log M has got more color in it than what log has, right?
Mhm.
So you've got the capability on the Mavic 3 Classic now of shooting log M or log, right? So you can do either. I would imagine that it would shoot in RAW, but as I've said, Dre, in the past, that there was, I'm not surprised it hasn't got variable aperture because that would wreck the Mavic 3 sales straight up. They won't release a variable aperture below the Mavic 3 series. I can't see that happening. If the Air 3S, we'll call it that, shall we? If that comes out and that has variable aperture,
Well, that's gonna be a lot closer to the Mavic 3 price too. That would probably be around 1800 instead of 15.
well, see, there you go. What do they
That's-
want to do? Do they want to sabotage their own higher end drone?
That's the problem is that's where I see that they're having an issue now is they're coming out with these drones so quickly that they're eating into each other's price range. Yeah, I could see that being an issue.
That's
Yeah,
right.
'cause the 3 Pro Flymore kit combo is $41.99. So there's $1,700 between them. But I'm talking the Pro, not the Classic.
Yeah, I was
That's
looking at the
totally different
classic
bird.
price.
Look at the Classic price, mate. Yeah, totally different bird.
When I was looking at the
Mm.
classic versus the Air 3 in price, they were about a $600 or so difference. As I think the classic was 22 or 2300 Flymore,
Mm.
and then the Air 3
The
was
100,
like,
yeah,
like almost 1600.
classic flannel. It's probably it's probably about $700 difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same as over here. Just
Dobo praised the hell out of the Air 3. And why wouldn't he? It is a great drone. There's, you know, if you're into autonomous flight modes, you're into the omnidirectional sensors and all that sort of shit, there's a massive upgrade. And it is an upgrade to the Mavic, to the Air 2S. It really is. There's a lot of features on that which is upgraded. I just don't like this stacker sensor and the fact that it's so small, you know.
But at the same time, if you've already got the 3 Classic, you wouldn't want to downgrade.
No, well, that's
how I
right.
see it.
But the thing is
That's in the
right.
middle.
Yeah, but we're talking dynamics, right? Within the sensors, right? Now the 4/3 is unbelievable, right? But 99% of the cases, you could fly a Mavic 3 Classic, Pro, whatever, and a Mini 2 Pro, and you can fly an S, and they'll all look brilliant during the day. They will, you know.
Did you
Yeah,
say a
you're gonna
Mini 2 Pro?
No, Mini 3 Pro.
You said Mini 2.
Did I? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mini
I got a
2,
Mini
Mini
2
3
Pro.
Pro, and then
I got a
we
Mini
go to
2
the Air
Pro.
series and then to the Classic. Yeah.
No, I've got a Mini 2 Pro. It's only when I fly it though. But when I've got
Custom edition.
Yeah, it is. I sent it to me. I said, "Here, I want to try this out." So you know, it's a great drone,
Limited
and
edition,
and it is a great upgrade from the 2S. But I'm not interested in all that shit. I'm not interested in that. You know, people are into different things, different ways, and they look at different whatever they want to use their drones differently.
exactly.
The Air 2S is a fantastic thing, and it's got that active track crap, and it's got all that crap on it and all that sort of shit. The Mavic's got that as well. I don't fly with sensors on, so omnidirectional doesn't mean jack shit to me, and I don't use autonomous mode, so that means jack shit to me too. I want to know what that sensor's capable of, you know. And we don't fly in low light conditions all the time, but you want to be able to, in situations, be able to pull the best image you can, and that came in extremely handy for me on my last shoot down with this movie bloke, because I had the dynamic range which the post-production team were looking for, and you can't get that out of a small fucking sensor. I'm gonna have shit flying everywhere, you know.
Like
The least I went was the 1 inch, you know.
Yeah, it is. It's supposed to be a little bit bigger and heavier than the Air 2S. The Air 3.
There you go. But the Air 3 is about the same size and weight as the original Mavic Pro. Now, what were they? 750 or something, weren't they, Mark? Something like that, weren't they?
Well, they said it's almost as big as the Mavic 3. That's like between the Air 2S and the Mavic 3 size.
Yeah, well,
Which I
that would take you. That'd be about the Mavic Pro size. Yeah.
I don't really know what the size has anything to do with it. But I guess just speed wise, maybe cut through the wind better. I don't know, how fast is the Air
It's
3?
nearly a
Because the Air 2S topped out at like 42.5?
I do
Is
have
there-
a 1 inch. I have a 1 inch. Tim, what did it taste like, mate?
Definitely wasn't that sausage you made him that for breakfast that morning.
Wasn't burnt, mate. It was raw, straight in.
Dobo is that impressed with it that he's going to buy another one. Put the Mavic 3 Pro on the shelf.
Mavic 3 Pro is a different ball game again, you know. I'm not interested in that, you know. I just want one camera that does the job, and the Classic does that. And this is why I didn't buy the original Mavic 3, is because I was buying something that I was never going to use. That top camera. Couldn't be fucked with it. I mean, if you want zoom, just go highest resolution, just punch in a bit in fucking post. Yeah. I mean, you know, you can't punch in as far as whatever, having a zoom on there. But I mean, god damn, whatever.
JDS, what's up?
What's up? Who's
JGS.
first?
I haven't said good day to Bill either. Bill, coast to coast, how are you, mate?
Mike said that's at least he was
Another
1
one.
inch.
3 Pro on the shelf.
What was the biggest
Hmm.
he did? Okay.
Radius.
I don't know. I think if you have the Air 2S, there's no reason to run out and upgrade. I guess, and I mean,
There, Jim.
No. Yeah, I don't think so either.
lighter Jim for the third
Although,
time.
as I said, the upgrade features, if you're after those features, then it's a massive upgrade from the Air 2S. But if it's image you want,
Mhm.
I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, if you're not doing professional work anyway, I don't even think, and I could be wrong about this, because I mean, Al and Dre are in the chat, but I don't even think the Air 2S is on any of these companies' lists of improved drones for doing professional work anyway. So I don't even know if the Air 3
Mm.
would make that list. It seems like they want the oldest drones they'll go with is like the Phantom 4 and the Pro 2. But all the newer drones, it seems like there has to be the 3 or up. Like they're just not
Mm.
taking anything lower than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I could
and
be
it-
wrong, but
and especially when you're dealing with production companies and shit like this, they want the flattest log profile you can give them, and the biggest file you can give them. I mean, you can send them 265s, which is all sorts of that's okay, which is smaller than 264, obviously, but you still got that good detail and all that sort of shit.
eh,
But I mean, the flattest
Hey.
profile you can send them is what they want. And you
You
don't
gotta-
get that with the lower end.
you got a point there, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've
Um,
already discussed this earlier on Paul Murray's.
Well, this is the thing is, I don't know, Dre, when you've done your jobs recently, because you said they usually give you a list of approved drones that they say you can use for that job. Have you seen the Air 2S on any of those? I mean, I guess you could get away with doing, some real estate work here and there with an Air 2S just fine. Or even an Air 3, but for
As I
doing
said
like
earlier,
mapping and all that, I don't think you can do it with those, can you?
but as I said earlier, you've got to be honest about the product, because if you recommend a product and people don't like it, it looks bad on you. But you can't really be too much of a yes man, but you can't really, bash the product too. You've got to be honest, because and then they have that as well.
Well, like I said, the only reason I would say that he could fall in line more with that is because he actually has a business of selling the product, where certain reviewers aren't really held to one product. When you have 3 or 4 different computer companies sending you parts and one of them happens to send you a bunch of shitty stuff, you can give them a shit ass review, but you still have other companies sending you stuff. So you're really not hurting.
Hmm.
But that's, I mean,
But
but I
as
get
said,
your
at the
side of
same
it too.
time, yeah,
Well, I get what
yeah,
you're saying
I'm
as well.
basically playing the devil's advocate here. Hmm.
But when
Yeah.
you're trying to push your own business too,
Yeah.
that's where people could find it being a little skewed, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Mm. It looks like it says Dre. If Dre says send me the link again, I did see it.
I didn't see it.
Probably didn't.
I
Yeah.
sent it to you a messenger. Oh, that's not the link. That's
So they
it.
probably get so many messages in Messenger
I
that
almost
he's
sent
probably
them that.
lost it.
No, I almost sent that Arabic that I copied and pasted earlier asking if you were gay.
Yeah, Mark,
I
it
hate
has
it
got
when that
D-Log.
happens.
It has got D-Log M, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's not the flattest profile. D-Log is the flattest profile out of that. And to get that, you need the Mavic 3. You can't fly log with the Air 3.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from, Bill, because they actually get paid by DJI. But if you're, as I said, if you're going to be a yes man, then it is going to reflect on you. So
But you know
if
what?
you-
As I
you've gotta
said,
be- yeah.
you can't argue. You can't argue with the images that come out of it. It's great. It really is.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with it. But for what I need it for, it's not going to cut the mustard.
Exactly.
It won't
Mm.
cut the mustard. You know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's a different technology.
I'm just sitting on the fence and playing devil's advocate here. So
I mean, a stacker sensor is not new technology. It is better technology than a single sensor. You know, don't get me wrong. But we're still dealing with a sensor of that size. You know what I mean? But as I said, you're going to get great images out of it, and you will. There's no two ways about it. But I just we'll wait and see what the next upgrade is, shall we?
Yeah.
Because there will
Sit
be one.
back and wait for another
I
one.
give
Yep.
it, I give it at most 6 months before you'll see an Air 3S.
Yeah.
There'll certainly be. They've got spare parts, so it'll be another spare parts bin coming up.
But
Probably.
they
And
And
have
they've
a,
got the Christmas rush coming up too.
but they do have a 600 to 700 buffer zone that they could tweak, I guess, a couple of things. To me, from what I've seen, it seems like they've kind of hit a plateau, like cell phones.
Well,
It's
this is
like
why they brought
such
the
a
stacker
minute-
out.
Well, it's
You know?
such a minute upgrade every generation that comes out that unless you have to be one of the people that has the newest and latest stuff, that cell phone is still going to work fine for you for up to 3 to 4 years after you purchase it. And
That's
it's
all
still-
it is. It's
you
just
know what I'm saying?
incremental upgrades. They really need something. They need a quantum leap.
Well, see, you know what? The quantum leap in 2018 was that Mavic 2 Pro.
Mm.
That slammed everything apart from the mechanical shutter on the Phantom. That slammed everything on the market. That was a massive leap forward for drone camera technology. And they've sort of putting the 4/3 on was another one, right? That's a great, because before that, the only way you could do that was to hang an X5 or an X6 or whatever off of an Expire, you know, to get your 4/3 bloody sensor. So they got the 4/3 on the Mavic series. Now that's the standard for that now. They will never ever. They'd be mad if they went backwards, but they won't. They can't go backwards with that. In French, come into look at the spot run, please. Oh.
Not a
Hey,
problem,
Joe.
Joe.
No problem.
A mini FPV for Christmas. Fuck yeah,
There's
mate.
a link
Yeah.
of, hey, Bill, you want to come in and
Yeah.
talk your shit, boy, do it. Come on.
Anybody wants to
Or Al,
get on
if
and
you'd
talk
like
some
to come
shit
in.
with us?
Come on, Al. I've seen you on other live streams recently. Come on.
Anybody, come on and talk shit with us.
Drone with a 1/1.3.
Al, jump on here and tell Matt how to properly edit.
Who are you telling to get on? Jim.
Al. I said,
Oh,
Al,
Al.
come on and tell Matt how to properly edit.
The S3S. I think you might see an Air 3 Pro. Yeah. Either or, mate. Whatever they call it, there'll be another.
Yeah, it's just a different naming convention. But
Yeah,
I feel that it'd be called an Air 3S. We've got Draymond.
But like right now, I have the S22, so I probably wouldn't upgrade to like the S25, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I still got the
Or-
S20, mate. That still does a good job for me. Camera wise, it's
It's not
It's
battery
fine.
wise.
with the batteries. Well, the battery's not too bad. It just sort of dies in the arse at about 15%. It's like, I had enough of this.
Yeah,
That's not a good sign.
It's not. It's not a good sign.
yeah. I only get about 4 hours out of mine, but mine's an iPhone 12. I think I'll wait for the 15 because then I can get the USB-C connection.
I'm like a Galaxy S4 there, Dominic.
All right, so what were you saying earlier, by the way, Matt? There.
Yeah, Dre's me mate. Dre's a great bloke. He teaches me a
Coolest
lot.
man on YouTube.
If I didn't know anything unless Dre tells me, I'll tell you.
No, I was going to address what Justin was talking about, the different drones. A lot of time it just goes back to what drone works best, what type of work you're doing.
Mm.
That's like I say, you talk about the Air 2S and some other ones, some of them don't have mechanical shutters. So, I mean, any drone, they'll tell you any drone can do mapping, but it's the preferred drones that do have mechanical shutters are the ones they want to see out there.
Well, like I said, you said before, you'll get a list of what
Yeah,
they approve,
Some,
right?
some companies will give you a list of drones approved. And the reason for that is because they want a drone that's compatible with the software they use. So like I said, if you're just taking the pictures and you're not doing the editing, all that kind of stuff, like Matt was saying, he needed something that's going to help work with the production company, you know? So they're going to give you a list of drones that they know is going to be compatible with what they use. So whatever software the production company is using, or whatever computer that the construction company is using, they'll have a list of drones. So, okay, these are the drones that we require you to use.
I don't know. Matt, as bad as his webcam's autofocus is, I don't really have much faith in his information at the moment.
I mean, to
Yeah.
be quite honest, we've seen his footage and it's just as blurry.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It just makes a difference of what who you're working for. Just like Al does a lot of stuff in-house. He will produce the Ultra Mosaics. He'll do everything and post them for the client, and they can pull it right from his site. For me, I don't do that. I upload to their site and let them do it. You know, that's extra work, extra money out of my pocket for producing maps. So, and like I said, when you're doing
Well done,
large
Paul.
projects, that's a lot of money you got to kick out if you're doing large projects. If you're doing like 1 or 2 acres, that's not bad. But when you're doing something like 400 acres, that can start getting big. And then you got to worry about, can they upload off your site to their site? Because now you're talking about a picture that's humongous.
Mm.
And will they be able to handle the upload?
Mm. And Bill's right too. It is full of gimmicks. It is. I mean, and the upgraded sensors and all that sort of stuff. I mean, the vertical filming, whoopee do. I just changed the aspect.
They did that shit for YouTube and TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
That was
right.
exactly what that was.
Well, like I
for.
said,
They can do it at 2.7 as far as I'm aware. But I can do mine at 5.1 and just change the aspect ratio in my timeline. Boom, instant short. And I got 5.1K.
Yeah, well, like I say, there's a difference, man. How many folks are going to go through all that to change it over? They want something they can just take right out of the SD card and slap it on Facebook, YouTube, or whatever else, and get it done. I mean, I was out there at that drone expo Friday, and I'm talking to all these reps and manufacturers, and these are U.S. guys making U.S. drones, and they pretty much said they have no real interest in making consumer level drones. One, they can't compete with DJI. Two, they said there's no money in it. They said there's no money to recoup the research, the development, or the design to get into the consumer market. So that's why they're building these humongous drones, these used drones, these drones that are built for a purpose, particularly, like I say, doing commercial enterprise level work. That's where they make their money. That's where they can get the quickest return on their money.
Now, is variable aperture have anything to do with pro work, like what you do or anything, or what Al does? Like, do you guys have to have that?
Variable aperture benefit those who take photography more than anything else. Video, it can help, but it's not going to be a make or break deal. But you're still photo folks like Matt who like to adjust things and and go through all that kind of stuff. It's almost like I say, having a variable aperture is like having a real DSLR in the air. You can adjust everything that you want to, detail it down to.
I'll tell you something now. The images that I got down the Gold Coast on my last drone video, it's impossible to get those images without variable aperture. And that's where the variable aperture comes in for full control over a subject like the sun. You can make that sun look how you want it. Whereas you can't do that with shutter speed for your exposure.
Right.
So the look that I got that sun was the starry look. So you close that aperture right up, right, to get that look
Thanks,
you
Paul.
want out of that sun there.
Mhm.
So the control over that image is a lot more, because if I go out there and I say, oh, we want that sun to be all starry and all that sort of shit, I can't go out there with an Air 2S and get the images they want because I
Right.
haven't got aperture control. Do you know
Mhm.
what I mean? So
Right.
I'll go out and do that. I'll get that full control of that aperture and I can make that scene look however I want, you know, and that's the control you've got. And people always have said in the past, oh, you don't need a variable aperture on a drone. Or that. Well, you know,
Thank you, Wedge and
99%
Big.
you probably don't, but I do every time I
Yeah.
fly. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. I mean, it goes down to the point of what type of work you're doing, how knowledgeable you are as a photographer, videographer, all that kind of stuff. To what do you know how to use a drone to its fullest ability? So see, Al, the Skydio guy was there. He told me point blank, Skydio is not doing anything more at the current time. They're focusing on the X2, and that is it. He said they may or may not return to the consumer drone market.
Thank you again, Wedge and Big.
Mercy hump.
It kind of
So-
makes you wonder why Skydio was lobbying so much to get DJI out. I'm wondering if they got like a whole line of drones they're just ready
No.
to dump on the
Well,
market.
the guy did not express that to me when I talked to him Friday. And he even gave me a demonstration of the X2 right there on the spot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right, Mark.
And like I say, and like I said, there's several other manufacturers there and dealers and stuff, man. And like I say, that's why I did the video, about is the FAA really harming the hobbyists, or is it the U.S. manufacturers? Because U.S. manufacturers are not making any drones for the consumer level. The FAA is not going to worry about regulating stuff for hobbyists, when the majority of the market in the U.S. is going to be enterprise level. Those are the manufacturers that are making. So who is standing up as a manufacturer for the consumer level? Nobody. So all you have is all the small guys, like I said, all the hobbyist small guys out there, scream at the top of their lungs, hey, FAA, listen to us. But we know the big guns, the ones with all the money, they have the lobbyists, which are the manufacturers, are saying, no, dude, you need to listen to us. We're the ones that's putting the money into legislators' pockets. We're the one that's going to keep funding this stuff to get whatever Mode ID and whatever else they want to get kicked out there to support, UTMs and everything else. They're going to kick in to pay that tab.
Appreciate it,
Not
JDS.
going to
Thank
be the
you.
small guys.
Competition, so they can't compete. Yeah, W. Yeah, I don't know, mate.
And I said that in my video about their products can't compete. The guys from Skydio said, well, DJI has thousands of employees, well, we only got about 400 or 500.
Well, it
Yeah,
makes you
so-
wonder if they got like a whole like design line just ready to drop if something
Oh, it
was to
could be.
change.
They could be, but if they, I think the biggest thing is if they can keep DJI out of the enterprise. I mean, like I said, there are not just tens of thousands. We're talking about millions of dollars in defense contracting and the government agency contracting, local municipality contracting with drones. Like down in Florida, you had all those departments, fire departments, police departments, sheriff's departments, all had bought DJI drones. And then your boy DeSantis that says, no, y'all can't use them. And what they had to turn around and do, turn around and fork out government money so they all go out and buy other drones. And most of the folks are pissed off because they're not as good as the ones they had.
Okay.
Mm.
And I
Appreciate
think
it, Al. Thank you.
and I think it's so funny that when he's talking about the, patrolling the beaches for sharks and stuff, well, you see all those deputies out there breaking out, a bunch of oddtails. And I thought that was just hilarious.
Yeah,
they all
that
break
does-
out the oddtail evil twos. They're bringing them all out, flying up and down the beach looking for sharks. Chinese made drones.
Yeah. Yeah. Or with
know.
magenta pictures. Beautiful. I can see sharks a lot better with magenta water.
Yeah. So
But it's a poor man's infrared.
It-
Yeah, so that's what I thought was just hilarious that the the hypocrisy is just running at full pitch, and
Yeah.
that's what I've always said from the beginning. This is all political nonsense that got ramped up, a few years back, and this is where we're at now. And people are still running on that hamster wheel, trying to harm other businesses and going from there. And I said this, I think it's a global issue because DJI is the world leading manufacturer in consumer level drones, period. I don't care, no matter what country you go to. Germany's not producing no consumer level drones that compete. France got the Anafi, and it's almost like trying to find a 4-leaf culvert to find an Anafi drone for sale somewhere. You can't go into Best Buy and buy an Anafi.
Have you seen, did you see what Mike put in there? He said Dobo was saying they are just subcontracting so they can have the DJI in use.
Who's that?
I guess in Florida, I'm assuming, if Dobo was talking about it. Maybe
Well,
maybe that's a loophole they found. I don't know.
Well, it can be that loophole can be shut down because if you have a government contract, and in that government contract, it states that you can't use certain materials or tools or whatever, even if you're a subcontractor, you have to abide by those rules. So no matter what, you're still part of the contractor itself. You're just a subcontractor. It's like being on a job. You can't go out there and use inferior materials building a building because you're a subcontractor. If the plans say you got to use XYZ type of cement mix, you got to use XYZ type of pipe for the plumbing, for all this kind of stuff, that's what you got to use.
Also, do they give the drones DJI? Do they return the drones? No, they probably bought them. They maybe they either shelved them or they sold them at some kind of auction.
Yeah.
Go
ask Art. He's always buying drones off police auctions.
Yeah, what was the name of that damn auction? He said it yesterday.
I don't know, man. He's always buying some drone and he always acts like it's the greatest deal since sliced bread.
Well, watch out, Dre, because if he gets an obsidian, you know where that come from.
Exactly.
Get a whole truckload of karmas for like $20.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just ring him up.
Yeah, so it's like I said, this is what happens when politics get deeply involved in regulation, man. Instead of just doing what they're supposed to do, when they get involved in regulation, it doesn't even make sense anymore.
W says Leos need the best equipment so they can stay alive. Forcing ship products is not the answer.
Yeah.
Mm.
That is it right there.
Well, as much as police departments get grants and stuff from the government, you think that they would have one of these drone manufacturers like Boeing or somebody put out a line of drones just for law enforcement and local agencies that they could grant out to them. And
just like I said, U.S. manufacturers have no interest in producing small drones. Now, Boeing makes UASs the size of
just give them a Reaper drone. They'll be cool.
As I said, they make Reapers. And
can I get one of those?
Yeah, like I said,
imagine one of those hovering over your house. Fire
You know.
department using one to hover over your house when it's on fire.
I always go back to
As
that.
I would say, shut up and take my money.
What was it? Mission Impossible 3. We had the drones come out and shoot up that bridge. They're trying to drive across it. I said, dude, I would love to have something like that, man. Flying that fast and just have hell missiles on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're 4 states over flying it though, is that considered out of line of sight?
Yeah.
I think with one of those, you get one of those built-in pods.
Yeah.
Like simulators.
Exactly.
Put it in the backyard.
Yeah, just throw it in the backyard. See, I'm flying, baby.
Be in Florida, I'd be like, yeah, I'm flying over Ron's house right now as we speak.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Drop a pizza over there.
Yeah, like I said, I saw the Skydio X2 in action Friday. The guy there demonstrated for me and let me look at the controller and everything else. And that's their main focus right now for Skydio. They already have a contract with the Army with the X2, and they're trying to get more contracts. But like you say, the X2 costs, like you say, 24,000, 25,000. But the technology in it is at the same level as a Mavic 3E or Mavic 3 Thermal.
Well, even the cost of it, because if you look at a lot of there, you know, a lot of these people that were complaining about all these police departments around the country that were almost militarized, it's
Mhm.
because they're not paying for any of that stuff. They
Right.
just literally apply for grants and then the government gives
Right.
them, here's 3 armored cars for your police department
Mhm.
of five cops. And
Right.
all of a sudden you got 3 SWAT vehicles.
But that's been the thing ever since the 90s, when the Clinton administration passed the first crime bill back then, where, you know, and this is what happens to a lot of departments.
I don't
is
think
that
they would
the-
have to pay for this stuff if they just,
Well, what happens is like the first crime bill, the federal government gave a lot of states, a lot of departments, a lot of money to hire more officers, okay? But the problem is those grants only last for about 5 years. Then the local municipality has to pick up the tab. Well, guess what? They liked the money, so they kept taking the money, kept hiring these officers, but couldn't afford to pick up the tab at the end of the 5-year point of the grant. So a lot of cities, including my own, and this is why we had to dump our fire department, is because we could no longer afford them. Because when your public safety department of your budget is above 80% is in public safety, that's a bad mix for any city. A good area for your budget is to keep your public safety somewhere around the 65% range.
John,
So what
You got a
happens
good
is,
point there, Mr. JRC.
so what happens is that like my city ended up going bankrupt because we couldn't afford to keep our public safeties paid. And their unions are very powerful because they contribute all the money to the politicians and stuff. So they kept getting the best raises, the best medical packages and everything else. And voila, you start stealing money out of the Park and Recs fund, or you stop maintaining your parks. Nobody else gets a pay raise in the city, all this kind of stuff. And when it happened in my city, it ended up going bankrupt. And we knew that back in 2008, when the current city manager told him, I said, if you don't make these cuts, he said, well, the next 2 years, you go bankrupt. 2011, August of 2011, we filed bankruptcy. And it took us 5 years to get out of bankruptcy.
I don't know how comfortable he'd be with the ice pack on his taint, JDS, just saying. Might be a little cold on his little giblets down there.
You get used to it.
Yeah, so like I say, it's a big money game. Like right now, they got these grants for public safety always gets grants, but now they're putting this tag on them to say you can't buy Chinese made drones or whatever electronic gear, all this kind of stuff. So like I say, even if they contract out, that thing can still be held to them who they contract with. You can't use Chinese manufactured parts, whatever drone.
Propertyroom.com is the,
Yeah, that's the
Property
one
room?
that's the
Oh,
one that
okay.
Art's getting all the stuff. I actually
Yeah.
found some, there was a lot of Apple computers on there, which makes me a little concerned about Apple users now. It makes me even more wary of them.
Yeah, it's probably raided somebody's house for online gambling.
There was a lot of Apple computers on that
yeah,
website.
because they're probably selling the old one to make the new one,
Mhm.
just to upgrade. Hello, Andrew.
Hello.
What's up, Andrew?
Andrew, how are you,
How's it
mate?
going?
What's up?
What's up, Matt?
Going on, man?
I
Going
did
on,
find some
Dre?
good deals on some RAM on there, though.
Yeah, make sure it's compatible.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
You,
the Corsair RAM, the DDR4, what I already have.
Mhm.
you
Oh,
look
the
like you were working today, Dre.
Oh, yeah. I go make my appearance.
That's how he goes to the gym, mate. Don't let him fool you.
I actually had to wear a regular t-shirt to the gym. I went to the gym at 5 o'clock this morning. It was already 75 degrees, 5 o'clock this morning.
Well, it's-
That's hot.
Yes. It got up to 104 today.
Listen to this.
Wow.
Listen to this candy
Yeah,
striper in the
yeah.
chat.
So I heard recently it was 117 there.
Maybe out in I'm on the edge of the desert. I'm
nothing.
not far from it. And it gets up there. I mean, I don't AZ AZ drones
rookie numbers.
out there in Arizona. Them guys out there in Pilot Institute is out there in Arizona. I can say bless their hearts, dude, because it's ugly out there.
Since
talking
you've
about-
been living out there,
Mhm.
is this one of the hottest years you've seen yet?
Last year was fairly hot, and it's almost identical. Last year, soon as late July hit, we had, I would say, weeks of over 100-degree temperatures. And then we get a couple of days in the high 90s. I always tell my wife, once it gets above 95, it's just hot as hot. You know,
Yeah.
at 95, it ain't like you get a cool breeze and you're like, oh, I'm doing fine. It's still hot at 95 degrees. You know,
It doesn't matter what country you're in, it's still 95 is just plain.
it's hot. You know, so like I say, once you get above that, it's just about how uncomfortable you're going to be. You know, you get above the hundreds, it's like, oh, instead of me, you get out of the shower, you just keep sweating.
Yeah,
Joe
exactly.
doing his
all
professional
it is.
photography.
Joe doing his thing.
Yeah. Who's this?
Yeah, well done, Joe.
Oh.
Captain Joe America doing his
Oh, okay.
professional photography for the schools.
Mm,
Oh, cool.
well done.
$250 a kid.
Yeah.
And it's all
Nice.
digital. Like he doesn't
Nice
even
work
print
if you can
nothing.
get it.
Yeah, but I mean,
Wow.
Good money.
it's not like you only get one picture, Justin. He's probably getting about 30, 40 shots by about 4 different
I-
poses.
Yeah,
I
guess so.
bet
And then
I
the
bet
after work.
Justin has the skills to do that.
Team picture business has always been a good money maker.
Yeah,
but
that's good money right there.
But it kind of fell by the wayside because all of a sudden everybody's like, I can't afford my kid to get pictures.
Well, think about it though. You're literally just your main money of anything of your cost is just your time.
Yeah.
Because
Mm.
he's not even printing the shit anymore. He just
Mhm.
gives them a disc and then they have
Send it.
access to a website to go and
Right.
print the stuff off
Mhm.
on their own accord.
Right.
So I mean, let's
He's-
face it, that disc is probably what, a few dollars maybe at the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
So it's good money. It's a good profit for sure.
Yeah. I remember back in the day when the guy he used to be a former player for the Vikings. He was big in the photography business, Yeri. If you ever play sports, well, where you were born, Justin, back in the 70s and through the early 80s, Yeri photography did almost every sport team across the country.
That is true, JDS. He was only putting he was putting stockings on. So I don't know how he would have chipped his ass bone, but
Well, I heard he farted, and that's how he hurt his back.
it might have been it too.
You can do that.
There's a guy contracted to shoot.
Yeah.
thing, okay.
And that's how it is. Once you get a area to work, you just got to work your area, dude. 'Cause like I say, schools are as about, as you say, what's the term I'm looking for? Redundant as anything else. Once they like you, they call you back every year to do the same
Oh, yeah.
old thing.
Hmm.
You know, they don't even fish around for nobody else unless you piss somebody off or somebody wants to help their buddy out. Other than that, that's you. It's your contract to lose.
Yeah, when we did the swim team picture in high school, one of the kids' father did photography, so we didn't have to pay anybody to do that picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna nick off, guys. I'm gonna go.
But get a little
Okay.
bubble gut. Get some bubble
How's the
guts going
back,
on there.
Matt?
Got some what? Sorry,
Bubble
How's the
guts.
back?
but
Oh, Dre, okay, so Andrew was asking how your back was. It's still fucked. Dre said that you actually chipped your bone from farting too hard.
well, I can understand it. It was a beauty. It was after the operation. It was after the it was up. That was that 30-second fart I did after my bloody colonoscopy that did it.
Yeah, but those are
Yeah,
supposed to be
I've got
like,
one of
those are
those
supposed to
too.
be.
I didn't know you could.
No, he farted
Put
out
your
the doctor's
bags in
watch
this.
the other day. He was like, "What the hell's that?"
Yeah.
I haven't got a dog anymore, so I can't blame that. Eh?
Yeah.
You got a cat?
Oh
No,
man.
mate, no, no push.
If you got a cat, you can still blame the cat.
So how long
Yeah,
you
I
gonna be
always
off
blame
work,
it on
man?
my cats.
I don't know, mate. I had a good day yesterday. I was starting to feel better. I was like, okay, no worries. So
Mm.
I did a few things, real careful about it. I was okay when I went to bed, and I just woke up this morning with a fucking sore back again.
Oh, so you're not doing no rehab work. You're not getting in the pool or jacuzzi and
Yeah, I've got my-
stretching all that kind of stuff like that. Or you just
I've got-
kind of run the hose over you and walk around the circle.
Chase my tail. Don't ask
Wouldn't
me how I
any-
attach it.
Uh,
Would any
Yeah.
of the icy hot work for you? For your back?
The what?
I
Sorry.
wouldn't get icy hot that
There's-
close to my
There's
privates.
stuff called icy hot. It
Yeah.
cools
Yeah,
your back.
it's like
and
deep
then it-
heat. I wouldn't
Relax.
be putting deep heat down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get a little sweaty and it runs down the crack. Yeah, you're done.
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I got some deep heat on my nutsack once, and it felt like my balls were fucking shriveling. going,
Yeah,
Oh,
I know
Oh,
the feeling.
God.
It was terrible. And you get in the shower, I'm gonna wash this off. You can't wash it off, mate. It's like putting
Mm.
chili in your eye.
Yeah.
It's just, it's
It
Wow.
just
great.
makes it worse.
That stuff is thick then.
Oh man.
Oh,
Oh God.
I remember them days back in track and field. We used to have stuff called atomic bomb. You put that stuff on
Put
your.
that,
on
yeah,
your
put that
calves
on
and
your
stuff.
jock strap.
Well,
Oh yeah.
see, Matt's just trying to get a medical case going, right? He
Is that what
hurt
it is?
himself at home, but he made sure he went into the yard, moved a couple trailers, and he was like, "Oh, fuck, I fucked my back."
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, he's already filed for workman's comp.
I
Yeah.
have. It could be. You know what? You maybe have a burr on you, and yeah, riding a bike can do it as well. Yeah, I don't ride a bike.
Matt,
Um,
if you're out in the middle of nowhere,
Mm.
and your neighbors are doing target practice, make sure they know that you're behind them or
Yeah.
ahead of them so they don't
Heck,
shoot you.
yeah, I know. Well, like someone's got to put me down, mate. Let's be honest.
Well, I'm
Um,
just saying that if you're gonna go this injury route, as Justin suggests, make sure you're looking out for drones flying over above.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
you're not wrong. He's out mowing his lawn. Look at him.
Matt's
Yeah.
out there doing the downward dog yoga in the backyard. Just
Well, because Dad's friend,
And then he's doing the
the
battered stab as
husband-
well.
Dad's friend's husband was on the ladder doing yard work, and the neighbor behind him was doing target practice with his rifle, and one of the bullets missed and shot him on the
Holy
ladder.
Holy shit.
I
man.
shit you not.
Oh man.
What side of common sense left the guy with the gun right there? I'm just thinking, if you got neighbors that close, dude, why are you even firing a weapon?
I know he thought he was further away.
No, there ain't no further away. You know, when you go to range, there's a berm behind the range for a reason. Because
Yeah.
catch the
Well, he
rep.
was doing it he was doing it in his backyard. So
Yep, but evidently there's somebody who lives behind him has another backyard. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, dude, I mean, unless your neighbor's at least a quarter of a mile down the road, half a mile down the road, whatever. It's like,
Better, Matt.
Got to go. Nice seeing
Right.
everyone again.
hey Matt,
yeah.
All right. See you. Take care. Eh?
see you.
All right, Matt.
Take it easy, Matt.
I'll try to, brother. Oh,
That's the only way the back's gonna get better.
I know. I can't. Well, I am upset at the moment because I don't mind not driving a truck, but at the moment I can't make any of my porn either. Right, so I'm out.
Okay, that's TMI, Matt. TMI.
Yeah, too much. Well, I mean, you've seen
What's
the videos,
information?
mate. You bought them at a discount. You're one of my members. All right, I'll
Nope.
see you later.
Not even close, dude.
You don't know it's me though.
It was all sold out. Inch high private eye.
There you go. Hurt his back some
Just
more.
careful
Johnny.
with the Taco Bell.
Some people have a fetish for that, Dre. Yeah.
I hope that's what she says.
It's got to come in handy sometime. Oh dear.
Oh,
All right,
man.
take care, everyone.
All
I'll
right.
see you later.
See you. Bye
Take
bye.
care, dude.
See you.
What's that shit that the powder explosive stuff people shoot? What is it called?
Birdshot?
Thermite? No, not thermite. Fuck, I can't think of it. It's that explosive shit people put on the range and they shoot at it and it explodes.
Yeah, it comes in a little granular.
Yeah, I
round
saw a guy.
balls.
The guy put a shit ton of it on a little lawnmower, and there's a video on YouTube you can watch.
It's
The guy packed a lawnmower with a little ride-on lawnmower, and he was standing behind a tree, and he was about 50 to 80 feet away, and shot it, and the whole back axle of the ride-on lawnmower came flying towards him at a ridiculous amount of speed and literally ripped his leg completely off.
Wow.
And you hear him in the video, "Oh man, my leg!" His whole leg was just gone.
wow.
I just can't think of the damn name of it. It's like Thermomate
Yeah,
or something
I
like
know
that.
exactly what you're Tannerite.
Tannerite. Yeah, Tannerite.
Tannerite,
Usually those videos start off with, "Hey guys, watch this."
Yeah, let me see if I.
It's either watch this or hold my beer.
Yeah, one of those two
Yeah,
starts off
it's the
the
whole
video.
my beer moment.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's not going to end well.
Oh yeah, here it is, right here. So,
Say, Al, how's that M3E holding up? I'm thinking about getting one this week.
yeah, right here. Easy.
Holy smokes.
But yeah, he wasn't in any kind of way too close.
Yeah, if you're doing that, you need
Oh, I thought he was behind the tree. He was right behind it.
Uh,
And you see the blood splatter everywhere.
Oh,
and you always got to ask yourself, what do they tell the doctor when they get to the hospital?
Yeah, that-
just wait till he gets in the bill from the insurance.
I don't
then
know if
he's
your
gonna
insurance
say-
would cover stupidity.
Mm.
I mean, you packing something like that, you want to be a few hundred yards away at least,
Yeah,
and be behind some kind of protection, a berm or.
and you
Something.
want to be using a rifle at that if you can, because usually rifles are more accurate.
Well, I
Mm,
mean,
okay.
if you're gonna, well, yeah, but what I'm saying, if you're gonna shoot something like that, you want to be a couple hundred yards away and behind something that can withstand a explosion like that, like a
Yeah.
big dirt berm or something that would have took the explosion from that. But standing that close with that stuff packed in there, yeah, that was stupid. I mean, you could tell he wasn't maybe but 50 feet at the most from that thing.
Yeah,
He wasn't that far from it.
I would have guessed less than 100 feet, if that. That would have been just my guess.
Getting a salad, I'll be right back. Okay, I don't know why you need to tell us that, JDS, but okay.
As long as you ain't getting the salad tossed.
Oh my God.
Oh, Mark, what are you talking about?
He said, no, that's what he would tell the doctor. Well, I was just mowing the lawn and it just fell off.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Mhm.
I don't know what the hell happened. Just spontaneous. My leg just fell off.
Mm.
Yeah, my leg just fell off.
So when are you planning on getting that RTK base station and all that?
I bought it today.
Oh, you bought it today. Okay, I was just reading that. Yeah.
Bought it today on
Alright.
eBay. And
Much- How much that set you back? If you don't mind me asking.
I got it for $3,000,
What does it normally go for?
about 4,800.
Oh,
Brand
that's not
new.
bad.
This one's used. I figure I'll go with a used setup. I'm still looking at on the fence if I'm gonna go, if I can get a good deal on a Mavic 3E RTK system in the price range I want to get it for, I'll go that route. If not, I got my eye on at least one or two Phantom 4 RTKs to go that route.
I don't know if that would have been smart, Joe. He said if he was a better shot, he would have kept moving forward. Wasn't a Marine. Let's just keep getting closer to it.
Oh, man.
Uh, he's got a point though. I don't know where the hell Tim's at.
Tim Jackson, Tim
What time of day?
Jackson.
Is it in the morning time there?
Yeah, but he only
Dominic?
had a
No,
short day
it's-
today.
It's 1 PM here.
1
We're on
p.m.
the
Okay.
same time zone at the moment.
Midday, but it's already Tuesday, Wednesday there?
Wednesday, 1
Okay.
PM.
Okay.
So how's the soccer games going over there, Dominic?
Well, I don't really, I'm following Italy, not Australia. But I saw the Philippines won 1-0 against Australia, so that'd be good.
Are you talking about the women's or just talking about
The
the
women's,
Okay.
yeah, the women's.
Women. Yeah, I kind of wanted to rub Bruce's nose in it about that incident that happened down there, but like I say, New Zealand's not my business, so I don't comment on things. It's not my business. So I wanted to tell him, I said, maybe you guys have a little stronger gun laws down there.
Well, hold on, what happened?
No, the ex-jet, he's always talking about the, FAA and how this and that go on in America. And like you said, dude, you don't even live here. You don't pay no tax here, don't own no property here, but you always got a few choice words to say about what goes on in America. And they had a shooting down there Sunday. Now, New Zealand is a no gun law country. Nobody owns a
Right.
gun. Okay. But somehow this guy got a gun, went to work on a construction site, shot a couple people.
Ooh,
And I
Ooh.
was like
about
telling
that.
him, I said, dude, what's going on down in New Zealand?
why?
Oh, yes.
And that's the thing is like you being somebody from another country. I could see what your concern was and all that, but I mean, I guess I wouldn't sit there and bag on somebody else's. As much as I bag on Australia, that's all just joking though, but
Yeah, but I mean, his
Whatever.
whole stick is that, he feels like the FAA is like it has oversight over the rest of the world. I said, no, I mean, I have to sit here and respect every country's laws. I ain't talking about just drones. Whatever their laws are, whatever, when I go to visit there, I have to be respectful of their laws and customs and everything else. I don't need to be sitting here in California bagging on how bad things are in Australia, New
Yeah.
Zealand, Italy, France, Germany, whatever. I said, that's not really my concern. Because when I go visit those places, I have to be respectful of their laws. Simple as that.
We just
So-
have to understand the law a little bit, just
Yeah.
so we can follow it.
That's it. That is exactly it. So that's why I get a little bent out of shape when he gets on his
Okay.
soapbox sometimes. And he wants to talk about how screwed up things are here in America. I said, dude, this is my town. This is my country. We'll handle our business. You handle yours.
Hmm.
But you could make the same case for quite a few different countries.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, but he likes jumping on.
trust me, there's countries far, far worse than the US.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
How
And I tell
Exactly.
people- And that's why I tell folks, I say, I don't make any big notions about anybody else's stuff out there. So I don't feel like you should have the right to bash ours or talk about how screwed up our agencies are or whatever.
It's like a lot of the people over here that live in the US that complain so much about it. I'm like, go to some of these Middle Eastern countries and say the same crap you're saying now and see how far you get.
And
Go to
some of that crap has been talked about for how many decades?
I can't stand when people in my own country complain. It's like I have not traveled the world by any means. I've been to Canada, Mexico, that's about it. But as far as being overseas, no, but I understand how other countries are. Like, I'm not gonna pretend like there aren't countries out there that are worse. don't
Like I
have
say,
a-
everybody has their rules and regulations for their purposes. We may never understand it because we don't know their history. And that's the whole thing I try to tell folks. You don't know our history, one thing, so you don't understand why we do what we do and the reasons behind it. So. like I said,
We don't. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But sometimes we don't understand the reasoning behind why our lawmakers make these laws that they do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but like I say, in our system, we have a process. And I always tell folks, no matter if our process may not seem perfect, and it's not perfect, but it is the process that we have to make changes as a population by the ballot box. Now, like I said, I tell people all the time, just don't complain if you don't vote. I tell people all the time, don't complain if you don't vote. And I said, in the worst case is you need to be an informed voter. Don't be going up there and just be checking out boxes and not knowing
Yeah.
who you're voting for or what they stand for, and then stand back and watch the cards fall down, the house of cards.
I go to one of these websites that compares each candidate.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's why I tell folks, I said, I tell people all the time, I said, be involved. It's like, our situation with remote ID. And I said in the videos I did, I asked the guys that, who want to make all these complaints and make all these videos and talk about, screw the FAA and flipping them off. I said, I said, what have you done to involve yourself in this process? Back in 2018, 2019, did you submit a comment on what you thought was should be done, or what was I would say a proactive type comment instead of just saying no way? Most of the people who complained about this remote ID situation never took the trust test, still don't register their drones. I don't care if you fly FPV camera, whatever it is, RC plane. These same folks have never complied. But now they want to cry foul. And I said, well, dude, what have you done to be involved in the process?
But on the same thing, I don't know if the government has the system 100% ready to roll out. If it can stand up to the pressure that it's going to be under.
Well, it's like most things with governments and even businesses. Sometimes they roll out stuff just to roll something out. And just like DJI, they send us out drones. And what do we do within the first month or so? We get an update.
Yeah.
Even today, Air 3 came out.
Yep.
And what happened? Update for the RC Pro controller.
Yeah, I
Came
saw
out.
that from Medi.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's sometimes it's about just getting something out there, to have it out there, and we'll fine tune it as it goes. And I say it's not always the best way. A lot of folks don't like it that way, but that seems to be the pattern. I don't know what is going on with my crap today, but whatever. But that seems to be the pattern that has emerged. That we keep rolling out stuff, we don't vet it properly, and go from there.
Well, that's a problem, Mark, with any modern democracy.
Yeah.
That's not exclusive to the US.
Mhm.
It's just the US
Same here.
politics. The US politics, I think, just stick out more because they're, that's de facto world leader at the moment. And that's obviously, any of the big countries are going to stick out more than the smaller ones
Mhm.
when certain things happen, right?
Yep.
If Russia does something drastic, everybody knows about it. Everybody's going to
Yep.
hear about it. If China does something drastic, the
Mhm.
US does something drastic.
Now, like I said, getting back to this, remote ID thing, I always tell people, if you go back and dig in the history of the FAA, what remote ID is today started back in 1973. And that's when the FAA back then designated that all aircraft had to be numbered, basically registered, had to have tail numbers, all these different things had to be applied. This is 1973. So now here we are 50 years later, drones are more popular than anything else nowadays. So guess what? Because we are classified as pilots ourselves who fly, our aircraft, the UASs, are classified as aircraft. So guess what? We got to fall suit under that 1973 law, which is under US Code 49, whatever it is, that says everything has to be registered, has to have tail numbers, which is the FAA registration number, all that kind of stuff. That's 1973 laws that they're applying now. That law was re-emphasized in 2015 by Congress telling FAA, get a handle on this. And that's what they reached back to enforce where we're at now. Transponders had to be put on aircraft. I think they made that law originally, I think it was in the 80s. And they're just now getting most of manned aircraft under the ADS-B requirements.
Now,
So
are
I-
they gonna be transmitting to the planes as well, or is it just gonna be a one-way
They're
transmission
just
like the Air
receiving,
2?
I'd say.
What's that
So
for?
are-
Remote ID?
No, I'm talking about for the
ADS-B?
ADS-B. Are they gonna start where the airplanes will be able to see you too? I
Oh,
mean,
ADS-B is basically for the manned aircraft to see each other.
right,
Mm.
but right at the
That's right.
moment, the drones that have it, it's only for receiving other aircraft.
Yeah, it's only
Right,
receiving as
right.
far as
Are
I
they
know.
gonna
Yeah.
make it both ways eventually?
No,
is
that's
all?
what remote ID is in for, because ADS-B, they didn't want to have that on the small UASs. So I say we have remote ID, which is basically, like I say, we have separation of airspace, as they say. But helicopters throw a wrench in that, throw a wrench in that every time. You know, most manned aircraft do fly above 400, 500 feet. And like I say, with helicopters come in at all different levels. You know, and
Oh,
it depends on your air
And the
traffic.
small-
your-
And
Go
the
ahead.
small aircraft don't always,
No.
I've seen, they know abide by that 500
Right.
foot. Story.
Right,
I've seen them zooming over my damn house at 300 feet,
right.
Mm.
And like I say,
and
you know,
they're
that-
nowhere near the airport.
right. And like I say, and everybody's talking about, you know, what do we do? I said, well, it's the same thing as somebody sees a drone operator do something. All you can do is report it. And that's it. And I asked you, did you get a tail number?
I've seen
that's all you can
med
do.
flight not even 2,000 feet up, not even.
Like I say, especially if you live somewhere close to a small airport, those guys, usually the guys who are training, they're doing all kind of what we call touch and goes, where they're taking off, landing, all that kind of stuff. And they're not getting up very high because they're just circling around the airport, coming back in for another practice landing. So there's all kind of variables that come into play. And that's why, you know, they say they don't like us flying around airports, because of activity like that, when you have student pilots who are doing touch and go practices and things of that nature at low altitudes. So there's always a rhyme or reason why things happen and so forth. And, you know, I tell people, I said, until it gets to a point where they just don't want us flying at all, you know, I'll abide by the rules and do what needs to be done, because that's a business for me. And that's what I tell people, this has never been a hobby for me. I've never flown as a hobbyist just to go out and have fun. From the time I got into this, I bought my first drone in December of 2018. I got my Part 107 in May of 2019. So all the flying I did up until that Part 107 certification was all practicing, learning how to fly a drone per se. And that's what I tell people. That's what I tell people now. I said, when you see me thinking I'm out here, you know, have a little fun, whatever, I'm getting B-roll footage for some other project down the road most of the time.
And Mark's got a good point. Like, I don't see why they don't require 250 or lower to register, even though they have to follow all the other same rules. Like, I don't understand that whole thing either.
The 250 number is just a random number. It has nothing to do with science. It has nothing to do with any kind of historical insight of past incidents. It was just a number they pulled out of a hat, and that's what they're sticking with.
They probably assume nobody could build
But-
nothing lower than that, and that's
They say the Mini 3 and the Mini 2 are sub 250, but are they actually 250 with the battery in it?
Yes,
they're around 8 grams lighter than that with the
yeah.
battery.
The drones are actually lighter. They come in and usually around 242, 245, something like that with the battery installed.
Mini 2 that I've got 238.
Yeah,
And if
with
you
the-
put the Mini 1 battery in the Mini 2, it will take it over
You're over.
250, because the Mini
Yeah.
1 batteries are extremely heavy
Yeah,
compared to the Mini
brings
2.
it
Oh,
to, I
'cause
think,
it's-
256.
Because the first Mini is those batteries. That's the first generation of that battery.
Yeah, but the Mini
Mhm.
2 So they made the Mini 1 batteries, they're compatible with the Mini 2, but you can't
But
take
not
the
the other
Mini
way
2
around.
back to the Mini 1 drone.
Yeah,
It's
No.
only compatible one way. But
so you
Hey,
cannot
compatible
use the Mini
that
one
way,
with the
not
Mini
that way.
3 battery.
no, and if you take a Mini 1 battery, an original Mini 1, the little black one, and you take a Mini 2 battery, you will feel the extreme weight
Yeah.
difference in them.
That's
Yeah.
about I think it's about 18 grams.
Yeah, because the Mini 1 battery actually has 2 of the 18, was it the 1860s?
And in 650s, yeah.
Yeah, it has 2 of those inside of it that are parallel to each other. They're hooked together.
Mm.
Because one guy actually was doing a battery mod a couple years ago on YouTube where he was trying to tear them apart and put bigger batteries inside of it
Mm,
to see if you could get a longer battery life. But
mm.
he didn't really seem like he understood battery technology very well when he was
Yeah.
talking about it. So I
Right.
never did see an update video, so I don't know how that went. But yeah, he
I-
was.
I have heard rumors that several years ago, people were trying to take batteries apart for the Spark and put them
Yeah.
together to make a new kind of battery.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like Dan Drone Worship, he does a shit ton of different battery mods. Like there
Yeah.
are people out there that do tear batteries apart and rewire them and do different things to them. But you better know what you're doing. You start screwing around with batteries.
Yeah, you
That
don't want it to
dangerous real quick.
Huge recipe for disaster.
you don't want it to blow up.
Because you can take, I mean, you can take the same batteries that my vapes use, the 18. You know, you
And
can
then
take a bunch of
650s, yeah.
these and you can put them together and make yourself a battery bank if you know what you're
Correct.
doing for your cell
Correct,
phone.
Mark.
I watched a guy the other day build a 20 milliamp battery pack for his phone from scratch. He built the
Mm.
case and he wired in all the board and wired in the USB plug, the USB-C plug and everything for his phone.
Mm.
And he
Mhm.
built the whole box and everything. Then he took, I think it was 6 or 8 of those and he put them all together. But he had the machine for that actually has 2 little prongs that like welds the plates onto them.
Mhm.
So that dude knew
Mm.
what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
he wasn't somebody that just was doing it. He actually knew what he was doing. And like I said, like Dan does that shit all the time. So
Mm.
you
I
better
would
know
never
what
do
you're
that.
doing.
I would never do that.
I was being smart one time a few years back and I ripped a cell phone battery apart thinking I could do something with it and I ended up catching fire.
Mm.
I was like, oh, this is layers. What is this? And I started opening it up. All of a sudden it was like,
That
had me
seems
thrown out the back
something
door.
Dre would consider doing.
Nope. Nope, I've already had my experience with a phantom battery. So that's when you learn those things in I don't know if you guys took
It-
shop
it's-
class when you grew up like I did, and they say sometimes oxygen can be accelerant.
Yep.
Yep.
And when
It's-
you get a poke a hole in things, and next you know, it's like it ignites.
There's chemicals out there that water will actually cause it to catch fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ooh.
you gotta be careful.
yeah. So
Oh, and
no,
remembering you got
that's
hydrogen and oxygen in there.
there you go. And that's why I said that's no mess. That's
Hello,
out of my
Tim.
league. Out of my league.
Tim, I
I
knew
just
you were
fly
here
'em.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
How you-
watched him do a bunch
how
of
you
battery
doing?
mods, Mike.
Tim's driving.
Yeah.
Yep. This
Lloyd,
is
what
where the
you still
cool
doing
kids
up?
hang out, Lloyd.
I thought you went to bed about an hour ago.
Hey, Lloyd.
What's up, Lloyd?
What's up?
Lloyd sleeps like a teenager, bro.
Is that what it is?
He
He
takes-
come
Well, I think Lloyd just came off his last nap.
and he come and hang out with the beatniks.
He'll come in. It's funny. He'll be off the show at like 9 o'clock. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go take a nap." I'm like, "Who the hell takes a nap at 9 o'clock at night?"
No,
But
he
it's
takes a
because-
nap
Then-
before he goes to bed.
It's because his wife. He helps take care of his wife, so he
Yeah.
takes little 2-3 hour power naps here and there.
Mhm. Yeah,
But at times that's worse than actually sleeping.
yeah.
Yeah, phosphorus. Yeah, that's one of the ones that catches fire when it touches water.
Hmm.
Anyone attending? Yeah, you were going to the wasn't there an expo in LA? that you
Yeah, I went to one in Fullerton last Friday. That's what I was
Mm.
talking about. I met the guy from Skydio and
I'd
another
love
guy
to.
from this guy here from what's he called his company? got the logo here. Inspired Flight. They make big old giant heavy lift drones for basically for agriculture purposes.
All right, Mike, have a good
These-
night.
These drones are huge and stuff. And I saw they had the Dragonfly out there. They had a Free Fly, bunch of DJI, the big DJIs, the M300s, the M30T. They even had a Nafi and a couple of Autels out there besides the Dragonfly and stuff. But even the college there has a UAS course to help you get certification, help you pass your 107, and they train you on flying the M300, the Enterprise Advanced, and the Skydio X2. And they said that then they'll hook you up with an internship with either Southern California Edison or some other utility company to learn how to fly utility jobs.
Oh,
I said,
W.
dude, go ahead.
I was gonna say, W said there was a commercial UAV expo in Vegas, I guess.
Yeah, it might be. I would like to go to the big one in Vegas in January, right tail end of the CES they have up there every January.
Wasn't DJI wasn't at that last one though, was they?
Well, that was another one they didn't go to. I think DJI was at CES, but they didn't go to the actual just for drone one. And the
Yeah,
rumor-
I don't
the
think
ru-
they were welcome there was.
Yeah, that's what I said.
problem,
The
wasn't it?
rumor was they were not invited to come, which is like these the same knuckleheads I think was
Isn't
sponsored that one, sponsored the one I went to Friday.
isn't that odd considering DJI is like the biggest drone maker in the world?
Well,
That's
like I
a
said,
slap in
this
the
is-
face.
This is what the politics step in. Because like I
Hmm.
say, the one I went to Friday, the two big sponsors was Skydio and what's the name of the company? Apex, Aperture, or something like that. They're the two big sponsors besides the FAA for this thing on Friday I went to. So when they are the big sponsors, they get to say, okay, we'll sponsor this event because they fed us lunch for free, all this kind of stuff for everybody who came. So, they say, oh yeah, we'll sponsor it, but you can't invite so-and-so.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
all
it-
just who's swinging their dick around at the time. That's
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
That just
Well-
sounds like you can't invite this company because they can't go along with this company.
well, it was
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
when Biden invited all the electric car company, all the car companies to the White House, but Tesla didn't get a invite.
Hmm.
And then he praised GM for being the forefront of electric vehicles. I was like, you gotta be
Hmm.
fucking kidding me.
yeah,
At
I was
the
like,
Well,
politics in the
Tesla-
way
Tesla-
again.
Tesla
Forefront.
mass produced and sold electric cars before any of those guys did. They were the forefront
Mm.
of the electric car industry.
Yeah.
And yeah, the GM got praise from Biden over it. And I thought that was the stupidest thing ever because he didn't
Mm.
like Elon's politics.
yeah.
Exactly.
So like I say, if you want to control the guest list, you pay for the event. And that's all.
That's
That's all
true.
it is. That's all it is.
That's
just
why
like
Tim
it-
never gets an invite to Matt's stuff.
Hmm.
Oh man. It's just
I
no
think
different.
Dre
No
would
different
invite
than,
everybody. If
You
it
know
was
what?
up to Dre.
if it's up to me, I invite everybody, dude. It don't matter to me. That's what I said. Don't let me get one of these big lottery things, dude. I ain't got no
Oh.
problem with nobody, dude. I invite everybody, dude. I ain't got no
And-
problem.
And that's true,
Speaking-
W. In all fairness, CGI doesn't need an expo to move their products. I mean,
S-
once your company's so big, do they really need to do advertisement? Not really. I mean, because you're so well known, like Disney doesn't really need to do advertisement. Walmart
Oh,
doesn't
maybe-
really
No,
need to.
don't say that. Disney, because they own ESPN and they own ABC News. Dude, every Disney movie comes out gets spotlighted on my morning news every time.
Oh,
and the
I'm just
first-
saying,
and the first
just to
thing they-
know who the company is, they don't really
Yeah.
need
Oh, they-
advertisement.
This is what they say. Oh, this is ABC News and our parent company, Walt Disney. This is ESPN, our parent company, Walt Disney.
Yeah,
Dude,
because
they
you
get-
actually get a deal now. So now they're doing a package deal. You can get Hulu, Disney
Yeah.
Plus, and ESPN
Yeah,
for like $12 a month.
yeah. They're all
Package
tied
it
to the
all
hip.
together.
That's not a bad deal.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they're
not
all-
for Hulu and Disney Plus. I don't watch ESPN, but the other two, it's not a bad deal.
Yeah, dude. I mean, for the last 3 weeks, I've been seeing advertisement. I get, like I said, my alarm goes off at 4 a.m. and I see advertising for the Haunted Mansion movie at least 10 times or more by the time I leave home at 6:15 in the morning.
Right.
It's like, dude, I could tell you every character in the movie. Because I see it every morning and stuff. It's
'Cause
just
you-
ridiculous.
You probably got a ton of advertisements a few years ago for Frozen.
Oh man, it's ridiculous. But I'm just saying this recently, I mean, it's just out of control now. It's like every movie come out. And that's what makes me laugh sometimes. Like when Indiana Jones movie was coming out, all I saw was Indiana movie trailers, advertisements, all this kind of stuff. You know, now it's the Haunted Mansion. A few months back, it was the what was the other Disney. Oh, don't let a Marvel movie come out, dude, because then here in LA we have the El Capitan Theater, which is a Disney theater.
Uh-huh.
Disney owns the theater itself. Oh, they have their news reporter down there with the little characters, everything, dude.
Lloyd's got a question for you there, Dre.
What's up, Lloyd? No, Lloyd didn't go venture the bar. You know what, Lloyd? I've been to the movies a couple times in the last month. I went to go see Mission Impossible. I saw Indiana Jones, and I had to go see a movie that's not real popular called something No Harm with what's the chick from the Hunger Games?
The main
Jennifer
character.
Lawrence?
I know who you're talking about. I
Oh,
just
yeah,
can't think of
long
her name.
black hair, main character.
Jennifer
in-
Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, she was the
J-Lo.
main character. Yeah, she's the main character who was basically made a deal with this kid's parents to date him, basically, you know, break him off a little bit so he would go off to college a little more wiser, a little more assertive. He got him some action. And I tell you, it's I can say the Barbie, I didn't think it was gonna be a good movie, to tell you the truth. But Barbie's is a American staple. You know,
Barbie
no,
movie,
no,
Corey says.
no, it's like every girl, whatever, now generation, it could be, you know, whatever you want to call it and stuff, it knows Barbie. So, you know, and Oppenheimer, I'm kind of shocked that one came on. I mean, it's an interesting movie to me, but I would think it'd be somebody from mine or Lloyd's generation who would really understand that movie, because that's when that was all going down and stuff. Those who grew up in the 40s. I mean, I was born in the 60s, but that was something fresh because the atomic bomb was still the big thing when I grew up and everything.
I
But-
actually watched the preview for that because I was just curious. I'm like, what the fuck is a Barbie movie going to be about? So I went on
I don't-
YouTube and I
I
actually
couldn't tell you.
watched it.
Oh,
I
did you?
watched
I-
the trailer because I was just curious what it was going to be about. 'cause
It's
Sarah
not
and the
made
girls
for
wanted to
little
go see
kids.
it.
It's Barbie movie is not made for little kids.
Is that right? Like I said, I couldn't tell you what it's all about. I mean, there's no, from the trailers I seen, there is no storyline. It's just Barbie, 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 Barbie.
The what I got from it was that they were in a Barbie world. Some witch or something knows about the real world and then tells them to go on an adventure to go see the real world. And somehow they get out of Barbie land, and Will Ferrell's like the head of the corporation. And he's
Oh.
trying to get them back in there. I
There's a-
don't know, but I
there's
just
apparently-
Never had a clue. I never had a clue.
Apparently, one of the shades of pink they used to paint some of the houses, there's a shortage on that paint because they used
Hmm.
most of it in that movie.
Wow. Yeah.
Is they
I
use
want to see Oppenheimer. If I don't get to go
Well,
see it soon,
I've
I'll
studied-
definitely get it on.
I've read a lot about Robert Oppenheimer and studied about him, so
Mhm.
it'd be an interesting movie to see.
Yeah, if I don't see it, I'll definitely catch it on streaming. Just like, what is it? They already got pre-orders on Mission Impossible already. I just bought The Little Mermaid for my grandkids on Vudu, so they can come over and watch it at my house and stuff. So, I mean, everything comes out so fast. It's like if you miss it in the theaters, you can catch it at home in about a month.
Well, if I really want to go to the theater, I could just go about a mile and a
Yeah.
half. That's where the theater is.
They
Yeah.
didn't put Little Mermaid free on Disney Plus yet.
They will probably another month. I
Yeah.
mean, they got my $19.99 for it.
I
So,
did like the when that was one good thing about when COVID was going on because they weren't putting They were just taking all the movies right to the apps
Yeah,
and giving them
yeah.
away because they couldn't do
Mhm.
the movie theaters.
Right.
So they were just
And-
literally the movie would come out and a week later you could watch it free on whatever app you were
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Disney and Paramount have been on and off editing their libraries of movies.
Yeah, yeah. And that's also, I went to go see a couple weeks back, the last Transformers and
Hmm.
stuff. And it's already out on video, on streaming already.
Although
I
I
started watching The Office
I
again.
think
That was
later
funny.
this year, next year, there's gonna be another Hunger Games.
Is it? Is it gonna be Jennifer Lawrence's daughter this time? I mean, she's been in what, 4?
I think it's gonna be Jennifer Lawrence.
I think it
do, I
was
mean-
4 of them, yeah, because the
Yeah,
last
there's
one I
4.
think
I
was
got
part,
them all. Got
yeah,
them
because the
all.
last 2 were 2-part. It was a 2-parter. The
Yeah,
last
something
movie.
like that. Yeah, I got them all, dude. It's just like when I see a movie franchise, just like Indiana Jones, this had to be the last one, dude. Harrison Ford's got a lot of mileage on it.
Yeah, he
And
does.
it's like if they were not tied up all the loose ends in this last movie, the next time they would have done one, he'd have been in a wheelchair
But did you hear about
with
the
a
stunt
with an
in
oxygen
Mission-
tank tied to the back.
Exactly.
Did you hear about how he did that stunt in Mission Impossible in Norway?
Which one? Off the cliff onto the train?
The new one, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the previews of that. But they were just training to do that bike
He was
jump.
trained for like 3 months to do
Yeah,
3 or 6 months to do that.
yeah,
That's because he doesn't like using stunt doubles.
no.
There was a few guys, like even Jackie Chan was the same way. He didn't use stunt doubles either.
Yeah.
Some of them just don't like doing that. Same with Keanu Reeves. He doesn't use any kind of stunt doubles. He
Keanu,
does
yeah.
everything himself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Was the new Mission Impossible pretty good or what?
It's good. It just kind of ticked me off because I knew going into it was only going to be a 2-parter.
So it
But-
ended on a cliffhanger.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind
So-
of like you're really getting into it, and then you know this is going to end. But it ain't nothing like what's they call it?
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
that
least this one,
bullshit.
at least this one has somewhat of an ending.
Yeah, the fucking Fast and the Furious ended like
I
it was the
think this
next
one's,
episode
uh,
next week or
it's
something.
it's Fast and Furious
Yeah.
is Fast X.
No, the Fast
Yeah.
and the Furious ended like the new episode was going to be out next week.
No kid,
Like,
it was so
oh my
stupid.
God.
With Vin
That
Diesel.
whole damn scene was just over the fucking top. I was
I
like,
know. That's crazy.
riding
That
down
was
the side of
crazy.
the dam. Like, get the hell out of here, dude. Like
Oh.
in real life, you'd have done that. You'd have been dead the minute you went
No,
over the edge of that.
But know what's really funny, Justin, is that remember the chase scene in Italy, with a big bomb was rolling through the streets.
Oh yeah, that was.
Guess
stupid.
what? They use the same location in Mission Impossible.
Oh, did they really? Can you tell?
Same, blew. Know how the ball went
Oh
over
my
that
God.
bridge,
Yeah.
crashed that bridge. Same thing happens in Mission Impossible, dude.
What's up, Lambo?
I was like, wow, they must have all been there at the same time.
Lambo.
Yeah,
They
that
say-
whole thing has just got that. I just really wish they would go back to the roots of the first movie. I think
Yeah.
after Tokyo Drift, they just got ridiculous.
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift was still kind of in the racing, local
Mhm,
guys
right.
getting in trouble doing racing, but after Tokyo Drift, it just went off the fuck. All of a sudden, now they're nuclear engineers just fusing a nuclear bomb that's about to blow up
Right.
the White House. It's like, get the hell out of here, dude. You guys are a bunch of street
What-
racers.
Yeah. It's
What are the
crazy.
odds that they turn Fast and Furious into a crossover with James Bond?
No, man.
Well, they've already done the spin-off of it. That's what Hobbs and Shaw was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that wasn't even really spectacular.
Now, the best part of that movie is when they got locked in the prison together and they're yelling at each other from the doors.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
He's got the big ass cement thing. He's like, oh, oh.
Yeah. But I can't, the movie I'm most looking forward to this year is the second part of Doom. But that's one of those movies that it got you all wrapped up into it. And it's like, oh, it's over. You got to wait 2 years for the next one to come back.
Oh, it's like
I-
Avatar, fucking almost 10
I
years.
think that's November or December of this year.
Yeah. Doom. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing. I was a big fan of the original movie back in the '80s. You know, it just didn't have the technology to do what it does now. The special effects are, you know, like I said, come a long way. And in the first movie, just didn't have the technology to pull off all the special
So-
effects.
Having seen the first part
Oh,
and
cool,
seeing the
Joe.
original, which movie is better? The first one or
Uh,
the newer
Well,
one?
I would say don't judge the whole movie. I mean, I haven't seen the second part. The second part is going to really fill in some gaps that matches it up with the original movie. But just like in the first part of the new movie, you don't hear nothing about Fade, the Baron's nephew, Fade. Well,
Oh.
he makes an appearance in this part 2.
Oh, whatever,
So,
Joe.
'cause
I
it-
know you got
Because in the
excited.
original movie, Fade fights the Duke's son, you know, all this kind of stuff. So they kind of close that in. I think a lot of people were questioning. I say, okay, where's Fade at? Which was played by Sting in the original movie.
Come on, Joe. How many people could say they gave Tom Cruise mouth to mouth? Act like you wouldn't want to do that. And that's why
Well-
everybody got pissed off when they put him in a Jack Reacher movie, because Jack Reacher, everybody knows that character was a big, like the dude they used for the TV show fit the character of Jack Reacher. Tom
Hmm.
Cruise was way too small for that character.
He's only my height.
Yeah, he's
Joe
a small
America,
dude.
are you pulling our chain?
No, he's being serious.
When he was on the detail, EMS
He was
detail?
on the EMS detail. He used to be a paramedic.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, my stepsister, she worked for was it American Ambulance Service or something like that, and
Mhm.
she used to go to concerts all the time and stuff. That was what her company did. They didn't work for an actual fire department or anything. They just
Right.
were hired to go to concerts, events. She met all kinds of famous people over the years.
Oh, so they're a third-party contractor then.
Yeah, you get hired to come in and be on-site medics if something
Mhm.
happens.
Mm.
You and you have a full ambulance and everything ready to go.
Yeah.
And you make good money doing that too.
So has Ron started his new thing yet?
He is actually starting sometime, I think, in the next week or two.
'Cause I thought he was waiting to see if his
I
boss
know, it all went
accepted
through.
his resignation.
They're gonna use him part-time if needed. So,
Is at some point his current employer is going to be bought out at some point. That's what it sounds like.
yeah, Reacher, yeah, he was a horrible character for Reacher, Tom Cruise was, because just everybody knows how big he is in real life. That's why Family Guy made such fun of him and called him Tiny Tim Cruise. Or Tiny Tom Cruise. Remember that Tiny Tom Cruise?
Mhm.
And he was like smaller than Stewie in the show. The guy that they picked to play Reacher in the show, perfect guy.
Oh, that's a great show.
That dude's so massive, bro. He held a 50 Desert Eagle 50 cal in his hand, and it looks like a 9mm in my hand. That's a
Have you
big
seen
dude
it,
right
Jay?
there.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Jack
What's
Reacher,
that?
have you watched the show Jack Reacher?
I
I've
watched
seen it,
the
yeah.
original, the original movie? I watched that, which was pretty good. I mean, I never read the book, so I didn't have nothing to compare it to, but Tom Cruise did a decent part in the original.
He
movie.
did. He just didn't have the stature of the character.
Right.
The
Like I said,
character.
I didn't know what the character
bodied.
was, so I had nothing to gauge it by. But I'm just saying his acting job. But like I say, it was a bad mix for him to be mixed up with what's her name. I always call her Summertime Girl. She always get that. Sometimes she looks good, sometimes she don't.
Oh, God, what the hell's her name?
She's from the UK, I
Kate?
believe.
Kate?
No, what Kate? It was right
Katie
now.
Holmes. Katie Holmes.
No, it wasn't Katie Holmes. It was the one who played the lawyer. The one that played the lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
She played the lawyer in the movie. And
Jack
Tom had
Reacher?
yeah, and she had to defend him And he ended up, Tom Cruise ended up saving her because the bad guy snatched her up and they were gonna hold her for ransom or something. But she's
That's a
Rosamund-
cluster plot.
Rosamund something. That's her name.
Rosamund Pike.
Yes, yes. She's aged real fast.
Isn't that one of the oldest plots in the book?
Yeah,
Rosamund Pike.
yeah. Because in some earlier movies, she was a real cutie. And I noticed that she did that one show, Nick, is it something time, Wheel of Time, a thing on, I think it's on Netflix or whatever. Maybe
Yeah,
it's on Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, Wheel of Time, where it really shows her age, and she produced that series. I think the second season comes out here in September and stuff. But yeah, I've seen her in quite a few movies. Like I said, I give her summertime because sometimes she looks real good and sometimes she looks like
That's
Maybe
funny.
she wanted it that way.
yeah. There just some folks that got that look. That's why I call them summertime folks.
And
He's
occasionally,
already done. He already did that, Lloyd. He passed that.
occasionally she probably wants to look like, damn, she looks good.
And there's some movies where she do that. She's like, damn, who is that?
Who's that bombshell?
Yep, and that Jack Reacher movie, she had it going on.
Yeah, I actually asked Ron about that the other day on Paul's show, Lloyd. He said he did already finish that and it kicked his ass. So he actually professed and admitted he wasn't 25 the other day on Paul's show.
Mm.
Who,
Said,
Ron?
yeah, he said I'm not 25 anymore. But he's all ready to go. His background, drug testing, all that stuff's all finished. So
Okay, good for him.
now he's just a matter of a start date. But it's going to save him 4 hours of driving every month too,
Yeah.
because now it's only 40 minutes each way to work instead of 4.5 hours.
Yeah, maybe he'll be on tomorrow morning. I'll catch up with him.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good now.
How's Paul been doing?
He's doing all right.
Good.
Same as always.
I just think that medication that got him on has got him a little loopy sometimes.
What's up, your assistant? How's it going?
Certain medication can do that though.
Yeah, 'cause like I said, that last incident he had, they put him on some other kind of medication, and ever since then, I don't come on every morning, but I'll watch you guys or listen in, and I just notice how Paul sometimes is just not as alert as he usually is.
Look at Joe taking payoffs as a medic.
Mhm.
Michael gave me a $500 chip for staying with his group. We're talking about Michael Jordan.
Uh-huh.
He's like, make sure I'm in the ambulance first. Hands him a $500 chip.
Oh, man. Mm.
But the problem with that, Dre, is trying to find the right dosage. Because if you go up, the effects, side effects can be worse. But if you go down, there may not be enough.
Right.
You
And
got
that's
to be in that middle.
right. And I don't know what other medications Paul's is taking or he should be taking. Because Paul can be
But he
very
just got to make sure he's not on too many.
Key word is
Duplicate.
should be.
well, like I
many
say, Paul can
duplicate-
be very stubborn about stuff. And
Too
you
many
know.
duplicate medications.
yeah, like you said, some medications cancel out others, and like I said, some of them combine together and have all kind of weird side
Like-
effects. And like I said, in the mornings when I turn them on, I don't come on every morning, but I do see them, and I'll watch for a little bit, and I just sometimes Paul, it's like he's sitting there, but he ain't there.
Oh,
Like,
no, he does that a lot. You'll be like, how's it going, Joe? Captain Joe America. And you'll have like a 2-minute conversation with him. And Paul's
Mhm.
just staring off in space. He'll be like, oh, Joe just popped in the chat.
Yeah,
He'll miss
Yeah,
your
I-
whole conversation you had.
Kind of
with him.
like 4 years ago, my grandfather was on three different high blood pressure medications at the same time. Like, why?
Alicia Rashad. I don't know who that is.
she played the wife in the Cosby's.
I was just gonna say that
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
the mother in Cosby Show.
I'll tell you what, I watched the Where They Are Now of the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air cast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, the one wife, she has not aged well. One of them, the one has, I can't remember the two names, but you remember how they had two different women
Right,
play the
yeah.
mom?
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was the second one. Yeah, she has not aged well.
Is
The
that
other
right?
one
'Cause
has.
I seen pictures of her, well, it's been a couple of years because I have a cousin that lives in DC area and she's friends with the Reeds. And I guess she does her own little clothing line because she has my cousin, my cousin's 6'1" and she's, this tall, statuesque, and she's modeled for, last name is Reed because she married Tim Reed, Daphne. That's her first name, Daphne. I remember, I forgot her station, but her first name was Daphne Reed now. And she does these long type of like maxi long coats for women. And my cousin modeled it for her in a fashion show there in the DC area.
That was such a classic show. I love that show. That show was
That-
funny.
Yeah, now what's funny to me is that Felicia Rashad, Debbie Allen, and there was one or two more sisters. They're all sisters. And Debbie Allen was the one who did the choreographing for the show Fame back in the day. And then she married Norm Nixon, who used to play for the Lakers. But she was a big choreographer for a lot of videos back in the early days and different shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, they were actually talking about at one point doing kind of a comeback thing with Fresh Prince, which they ended up doing a whole nother new show, which to me, it just doesn't have that same, that
Right.
90s
Yeah.
feel that the old
Yeah.
one does. I've watched a
Mhm.
couple
Yeah,
episodes.
yeah, with
But
that, Will
because Uncle
Smith.
Phil passed away, it's
Yeah.
just not the same. Same with Home Improvement. They
Mhm.
wanted to do a kind of a comeback of
Because
that,
there's a
but because Al died, or not Al, but
The
Wilson,
neighbor,
the
yeah,
neighbor,
Wilson died.
he was such an iconic role in the show.
Mhm.
They all decided they didn't want to do it because of that.
Right.
'Cause
Like
there's
I
a-
said, after too long, it's hard to redo a show, especially when you have cast members who are no longer with you. Because now you gotta
Right.
say, do we just write him off or do we replace him?
And I hate when they don't explain what happened to a person.
Because there's a
Yeah.
guy
Like at
called
least kill them off in a nice way in the show, have
Yeah.
a funeral for them, say they passed
Mhm.
away,
because
whatever.
there's a commercial, an insurance commercial, and the TV dad is supposed to looks exactly like Uncle Phil.
One of my favorite episodes is when he hustled that dude at the bar. Sit there pretending he couldn't play pool, and then he tells what's his name? He's like, bust out Lucille. He pulls out his pool cue out of his pants. He's like,
I remember when Uncle Phil walked through the bar.
yeah, it was when Will got hustled by that pool
Mhm.
hustler.
Mhm.
So Uncle Phil shows up and pretends he doesn't know how to play, and he ends up hustling the crap out of that dude.
Right.
Oh, that was a great show.
Oh, I mean, all the 90s shows, but when they try to do remakes of them, they just don't have that same, I guess, feel. And it's because of the difference in the way they do camera work, all that stuff's different. And it just
Yeah.
doesn't, because with the old show, it kind of felt like you were breaking the fourth wall with the cameraman, kind of like The Office does. You know what I'm saying? How they have in The Office.
Right.
The cameras don't look professional. You see them moving around, or you can tell it's kind of somebody just following them.
Yeah.
It has a different feel than when it's like trying to be super serious.
Mhm. Okay, Justin, I'm gonna tip off. It's getting close to my bedtime.
All right, Dre.
I know it's
Isn't
past,
it,
it's past you guys' bedtime because it's only 9 o'clock here in the West Coast.
It's almost midnight here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's almost,
that's what I
yeah,
said,
it's
it's
almost
9
2
o'clock
PM
here.
here.
yeah. I would have been nodding off midnight here. All right, I might see you guys in the morning, dude.
All right.
No
See you
worries.
later.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night. Could have
Yeah.
sworn I saw a big camera behind Dre.
I wouldn't put it past him. He's got quite a bit of little different toys that he plays around with.
Mhm.
That one camera setup he's got is really cool. It's I think 3 or 4 wireless Logitech. I think it's made by Logitech, and they're wireless cameras. And so you can set them up, and then it will automatically switch the views automatically between the cameras. So if you're trying to get a bunch of different perspectives, but it's a whole wireless system, but it's expensive. I want to
I
say
think
it's like,
that's a high end one. That's
yeah, I
like
want to say
top
it's
of
like
my-
$700 or $800 new, and I think he paid like $400 or $500 for it used on eBay.
Wait a short time after it comes out, then you can get it for half.
Oh yeah, Hillary. Yeah. No, the daughter. What the hell was her name in the show? She's pretty hot now, but she's like in her late 30s, early 40s, I think. She's about the same age as me, around my age. The one that played the daughter.
I think they're all older than 40,
Not
The
the
whole
one that
cast,
played
except for
not Hillary's little sister. Like Carlton
except
and all
for the
them are,
youngest
yeah.
daughter, the youngest, who was like 8 or 10 on the show.
Yeah. She was the youngest of the cast. Of the main cast, at least.
You guys got the Bill Cosby show over there, right? No,
Yeah, we've had Bill Cosby.
I was never a fan of the Cosby Show, to be honest with you.
that sounds
like-
quite funny though.
I like Urkel though. That was a funny show.
Oh, Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
Family Matters.
Let's see here.
I'm back.
Yes, it was like the candy bar. Heath, Sean. Not hell,
Hey,
but
Brett.
Heath.
H wants you to check Messenger.
Yeah, I
Justin.
just answered.
Hey,
it.
Brett.
It's Heath like the candy bar, not health. All right, guys, I'm gonna jump off here. I need to get up with a couple people.
Yeah,
Do some
Okay.
stuff before it gets too
All
late.
right.
All right.
Good night. Night,
All right,
Don.
everybody. I appreciate y'all coming in and we'll see you guys Saturday, if not before then.
We'll see you when we see you.
All right, everybody.
Good night.
I know.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me.
Looking for check, expect nothing less. Your check is I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. Now leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression.
You could try to play, no free me.
So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off, I'ma break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time, you got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off, what do you like? Make a dream job, no 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts.
You could try to play, though the chains go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight.